Chapter 300, Ruins of the Plain, 5, Okay. Everyone stood up cooperatively and walked toward the tents. Not long after they walked away, a white light quickly emerged from the grass and ran to the place where Leng Ruoxue and the others had been eating, picked up a piece of meat, and started eating heartily. So it's a little leopard. Cold sweat dripped down Leng Ruoxue's and the others' foreheads. Alas, they were nervous for nothing. Leng Ruoxue stood still as she sized up the palm-sized little leopard. This little fellow was quite beautiful. It was snow-white and fluffy, and there was a silver stripe in the middle of its forehead that stretched all the way to its back. Its big black eyes were watery as it looked at them cautiously. Moreover, judging from the expression on the little leopard's face, it seemed to be in a dilemma. It probably wanted to run but couldn't bear to part with the grilled meat. Leng Ruoxue carefully walked toward the little leopard. Alas, she had always had no defense against cute little things, especially when she saw such a cute little fellow. She couldn't help feeling a little emotional. "Little guy, don't be scared. Big sister won't hurt you," Leng Ruoxue coaxed softly. "Really?" the little leopard asked in his childish voice uncertainly. "Really? Big sister never lies to children." Leng Ruoxue smiled very gently, afraid that she would scare the little thing. "I'm hungry," the little leopard said pitifully while staring at Leng Ruoxue with his big, grape-like black watery eyes. Poor child. Leng Ruoxue's heart ached. She approached the little leopard and handed him another piece of grilled meat. "Thank you," the little leopard thanked her very politely. Seeing that Leng Ruoxue seemed very easy to get along with, he wasn't so scared anymore. "Little leopard, where is your family?" Leng Ruoxue asked curiously. If she was not mistaken, this little guy should have just been born. A cub this small shouldn't be too far away from his mother. "I don't know either," the leopard cub said, a little choked up, tears welling up in his black eyes. "Don't cry." Leng Ruoxue hugged the little leopard and coaxed. "Woo-woo, I don't have a family." The more he thought about it, the sadder he became, and the louder he cried. "Grandpa, I'll leave him to you." Leng Ruoxue was dumbfounded as she handed the little leopard to Leng Qingtian. Her grandfather was more experienced than her in bringing up kids. "Thunder Knight," Leng Qingtian called helplessly. This cub was too young, and he couldn't take care of him well. He had never taken care of Thunder Knight during Thunder Knight's childhood. "Master, this is a newborn snow leopard cub. Send him back quickly. The mother leopard is very fierce." Thunder Knight hurriedly said as soon as he appeared and saw the little snow leopard in his master's hand. This little guy came alone. He said he had no family," Leng Qingtian explained. "Thunder Knight, I'll leave this cub to you," Leng Qingtian added, and then he put the crying leopard on Thunder Knight's back. Smelling the scent of his kind, the little snow leopard immediately stopped crying and slowly got up on Thunder Knight's broad back. After climbing onto Thunder Knight's head, the little snow leopard said in a childish voice, "I'm hungry." Thunder Knight stretched out his big paw, grabbed the little snow leopard from his head, put him on the ground, and gave him a piece of meat. "Eat." "Thank you, uncle." The little snow leopard took the meat, thanked him, and then wolfed it down. "Grandpa, you are the best," Leng Ruoxue praised. "Of course," Leng Qingtian said proudly while wiping the cold sweat off his forehead. He was also forcing Thunder Knight to put a square peg into a round hole. "Look at how smug you are," Old Man said with contempt. "You are jealous." "I understand," Leng Qingtian quickly retorted. "Grandpa, take your time bickering. I'm going to bed." Leng Ruoxue went directly into her tent, and Freak hurriedly followed. "I'm going to bed too." Leng Qingtian entered another tent. "Fine, I'll sleep too." "Who's afraid of who?" Old Man followed suit. "Everyone rest early," Leng Ruhan said helplessly. These old men would feel uncomfortable all over if they didn't bicker for a day. But their feelings for each other also improved the more they fought. After Fengde and the others went to sleep, Leng Ruhan sat down by the fire alone. Only Thunder Knight and the little snow leopard accompanied him. "Big brother." Leng Ruoxue emerged from the tent not long after and sat down beside her brother. "Schwer, aren't you sleeping? Where's Ichan?" Leng Ruhan asked curiously. "Ball isn't back yet, so I'll wait for him. Freak is asleep, Lung Ruoxue explained simply. As she spoke, a chubby little body pounced into Lung Ruoxue's arms. Big sister, I'm back, Ball Ball said tenderly as he rubbed himself against Lung Ruoxue's chest. Ball Ball, don't leave anymore. It's already very late, Lung Ruoxue warned. Big sister, quickly take a look at the treasures I brought back. Ball Ball pointed at the pile of whitish things on the ground. Ball Ball, Big sister don't know what these are. Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. Big sister, Ball Ball is worthy of being a treasure-seeking beast. These are indeed good things, but you don't need them now. Qing Ju's voice sounded in Lung Ruoxue's head. Qing Ju, what are these things? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Hee, big sister, I won't tell you now. Qing Ju kept her guessing again. Stinky Qing Ju, you've turned bad. Lung Ruoxue pouted her pink lips in complaint. Big sister, even if you know now, you won't need them. I'll tell you when you can use them, Qing Ju comforted with a smile. All right then. Lung Ruoxue was a little depressed as she cut off her connection with Qing Ju and said to Lung Ruhen, Big brother, I'm going to bed. Hurry up and go. Lung Ruhen urged. Lung Ruoxue stood up and walked toward her tent. The next day, everyone woke up, had breakfast, and continued on their journey. Chapter 301, Ruins of the Plain, 6. Lung Ruoxue and the others wandered around the plain for 3 days but found nothing. Lass, it's been 3 days, but we haven't found a single clue. Old Zao exclaimed. There's nothing we can do. We can only look around aimlessly unless the task appears on its own, Lung Ruoxue said. She was really speechless about the task in this place. At this rate, she would probably go crazy before the task appeared. She even suspected that this mystic realm was playing with them. It teleported them here, but the so-called opportunity didn't appear. Could that damn mystic realm spirit want to trap us here? Big sister, what are you looking for? The little snow leopard lying on Thunder Night asked curiously. We're looking for a way to leave this place. Lung Ruoxue explained simply. Do we have to leave this place? Big sister, I want to go home and take a look, the little snow leopard quickly begged when he heard that they were leaving this place. He had already become familiar with Lung Ruoxue and the others these few days and planned to leave with them. Little Snow, where is your home? Thunder Night asked. Over there. The little snow leopard pointed to their left. How do we go to your home? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. She automatically ignored Thunder Night calling this little guy Little Snow. Big sister, we can reach my home after we pass through these bushes. The little snow leopard pointed at the tall bushes not far away. We can't enter those bushes, Lung Ruoxue said weakly. She had tried it long ago. No one could pass through those bushes except Ball Ball and this little snow leopard. It seemed like something was blocking them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been searching along this road for 3 days. You can. Trust me, big sister, the little snow leopard said with certainty. All right. Lead the way, Lung Ruoxue said doubtfully. Okay, big sister, follow me closely. The little snow leopard jumped down from Thunder Knight's back and went into the bushes. Grandpa, let's try again. Lung Ruoxue said to Lung Qingtian and the others. Then she tried to walk into the bushes. This time she really walked in. Everyone hurriedly followed her. Little snow leopard, how much longer do we have to walk? Lung Ruoxue couldn't help asking an hour later. She really didn't expect there to be another world in the bushes. After entering, they discovered that there was actually another road hidden in the half-man-tall bushes. But this road was so secretive that no one could find it at all, let alone walk in. We're almost there, the little snow leopard said happily. After walking for a while, the little snow leopard pointed at some ruins. Big sister, we're here. This is your home? Lung Ruoxue said doubtfully. This place was obviously ruins. No, it's below, the little snow leopard said mysteriously. He used his little paw to pry open a piece of tile to reveal a very small cave. Fengda, dig this place up and take a look, Lung Ruoxue hurriedly ordered. She had a premonition that this was the place they were looking for. Yes, Mississippi. Fengda and the others rolled up their sleeves, took out tools and dug. After a while, the cave entrance gradually revealed its true appearance. A stone staircase leading down appeared in front of everyone. "Let's go down and take a look," Lung Ruoxue said to everyone without hesitation. "Shuer, follow behind me." Freak was the first to go down. Lung Ruoxue held Freak's hand and followed closely behind him. She couldn't help but feel a strange feeling in her heart. Well, this feeling of being protected is very good. "Freak, be careful," Lung Ruoxue reminded softly. "Okay, don't be scared. I'm here. I will protect you," Freak said very seriously. They walked down the stairs and into the interior of the ruins. Everyone was instantly dumbfounded. Was this the ruins? They seemed to have come to the wrong place. But they didn't feel like they had been teleported to another place. What was going on? Everyone's faces were full of question marks. Lung Ruoxue was very careful as she looked at their surroundings. This place they were in should be a garden. The garden was covered in green trees, and the warm sunlight shining on them felt very comfortable. There were hundreds of flowers blooming, with many butterflies and bees working diligently around the beautiful flowers. There were a lot of birds chirping and numerous cute little animals hiding behind the trees and in the bushes, looking at them timidly. There was a house directly above them, and on the left side of the house was a hot spring where fish were swimming happily. Where was this place? This place really didn't match the ruins they came down from just now. They couldn't imagine that there was actually a completely different world inside after coming down from above. "Ha, damn girl, welcome to my home." A mechanical voice suddenly sounded in everyone's ears. Everyone was shocked. Is this how you treat your guests? "It's really too rude to hide your face," Lung Ruoxue deliberately said loudly. "That's right. Don't tell us you're so ugly that you're embarrassed to meet your guests?" Freak said cooperatively. "Very possible. Freak, we should understand it. Someone who doesn't even dare to show their face must be so ugly that they can't face others." Lung Ruoxue said very understandingly. "Nonsense. I'm not ugly. I'm a rare handsome man in the world," the mechanical voice said cockily. A handsome man? Who knows what you are?" Lung Ruoxue said disdainfully, obviously looking down on him. "You've angered me. Damn girl, you will pay for it," the mechanical voice roared. "Pay? I want to know what price I will pay. Bring it on." Lung Ruoxue said nonchalantly. "Damn girl, you will regret it," the mechanical voice said smugly. Chapter 302. A Different World, Spirit of the Mystic Realm. 1. Walk the talk. Come and let me see it for myself. Lung Ruoxue continued to provoke. What she wanted to do most now was to teach the spirit of the mystic realm a lesson. What a lousy mystic realm and lousy task. They wasted so much time walking around like headless flies, not knowing what to do. Since the mystic realm spirit came knocking on their door, then they should settle scores properly. "Damn girl, I'm already in front of you," the mechanical voice said. Lung Ruoxue looked around but saw nothing. "Below," the mechanical voice reminded. Lung Ruoxue quickly lowered her head after hearing the voice, only to see a black little dog. The little dog was very cute. It wasn't even the size of a palm, and its entire body was pitch black and fluffy. Its obsidian-like bright black eyes were staring at her with slight displeasure. Lung Ruoxue blinked her beautiful eyes. "Am I seeing things? Is this little dog the mystic realm spirit?" Everyone looked at the little dog on the ground with their mouths agape. For a moment, everyone was silent. So, the mystic realm spirit that had been tormenting them was this little thing. Lung Ruoxue composed herself, picked up the little black dog off the ground, and raised him in front of her. "Blackie, you're very cute, but..." Lung Ruoxue stopped mid-sentence. "I'm not called Blackie," the little black dog protested. "How could the mighty spirit of the mystic realm have such a terrible name?" Objection overruled. Lung Ruoxue rejected him without hesitation. "I am the spirit of the mystic realm. You can't call me by such an unassuming name," the little black dog said cockily with his head raised. "You are a little dog in my eyes," Lung Ruoxue said lightly. This little dog actually called himself a handsome man. How amusing. Lung Ruoxue turned her head and said to Lung Qingtian and the others, Grandpa, I'm leaving for a bit. Then Lung Ruoxue walked toward the back of the house with the little dog in her arms. What is Miss going to do? Fengde asked curiously. The faces of the others were also full of question marks. I don't know. Lung Qingshan's expression was very calm, but his heart was racing. Bless. You have to show mercy. A moment later, screams resembling a pig being slaughtered resounded from behind the house. As soon as everyone heard the screams, they immediately understood. They also wanted to do this, but they were not as bold as Lung Ruoxue. After more than 10 minutes, Lung Ruoxue walked back leisurely from behind the house with the little black dog in her hand. At this moment, the little black dog was one size bigger than before. His eyes were narrowed, but he still forced a smile on his face. Everyone was full of sympathy when they saw the little black dog. Swear he. Lung Qingtian hesitated. What he wanted to say was that the mystic realm spirit wouldn't find an opportunity to seek revenge on them, right? After all, they were in the mystic realm now, and he controlled this mystic realm. It's fine. We have a good relationship now, right, Blackie? Lung Ruoxue lied through her teeth, her beautiful eyes carrying a hint of threat. Yes, that's right, the little black dog hurriedly said with a face full of fear. Boo! This demon actually dared to beat me up, and she even beat me until I became fatter. Boo! I am the mighty spirit of the mystic realm. Everyone loves and fears me, and I have the ultimate respect. Boo! Good, Lung Ruoxue said with satisfaction. Blackie, why are there ruins above your home? Lung Ruoxue asked. To fool others, of course. You wouldn't have been able to find this place if it wasn't for that little snow leopard, the little black dog said gloomily. Boo! Traitor! What is the task here? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. How could they complete the task if they couldn't find the ruins? There's no task here. Ha! The little black dog laughed triumphantly. What did you say? Lung Ruoxue narrowed her beautiful eyes coldly. I said there is no task here, the little black dog repeated triumphantly. Since there is no task here, why were we teleported here? Lung Ruoxue questioned coldly. Did the mystic realm really play tricks on us? But a voice in her heart told her that something seemed to be waiting for her here. I don't know either. No one has been here for a long time, the little black dog hurriedly replied. Aren't you the spirit of the mystic realm? Don't you control the mystic realm? How dare you tell me that you don't know? Lung Ruoxue roared with displeasure, and the strength in her hand increased significantly. She was really angry. What was this? The mystic realm spirit actually told her that he didn't know why they were teleported here. Damn girl, are you trying to strangle me to death? Let go. I can't breathe. The little black dog kicked his 4 short legs with all his might while calling for help. You'd better make yourself clear. Otherwise, just wait to become a dead dog. Lung Ruoxue threatened and loosened her grip. Ahem. In the spirit of the mystic realm. How can you treat me so rudely? Boo-hoo, the little black dog complained while panting non-stop as he looked at Lung Ruoxue with tears in his eyes like a little wife. Why should I care what you are? You better explain it to me clearly, or else I won't let you go, Lung Ruoxue said nonchalantly. There is no task here. People who were teleported here before would gather herbs and capture spirit beasts. And when the time is up, they will naturally be teleported out. In addition, this is my home. In fact, I don't like outsiders coming, the little black dog explained. Your home is ruins? Lung Ruoxue asked mockingly. They had come down from the ruins. This place wasn't like this before. It used to be very beautiful. There were many herbs, minerals, and spirit beasts here. Basically, everyone who was teleported here would return with a full load. But something happened later, and this place became like this. Moreover, no one has been teleported here for a long time, the little black dog said slowly with some nostalgia. Chapter 303, A Different World, Spirit of the Mystic Realm. 2. Did you set up a barrier on those bushes? Lung Ruoxue asked thoughtfully. Yes, but my ability is limited, and the barrier isn't perfect. Otherwise, I wouldn't have modeled the entrance to this place to look like ruins. I originally thought that no one would come down, but you actually found this place. Alas, this might be fate. The little black dog sighed while speaking. What if someone is teleported here like us? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. If they could find this place, it was possible for others as well. Not everyone wants to come down and explore ruins when they see them. Moreover, no one is as lucky as you are. In short, the fortress was broken through from the inside. You only found this place because of a traitor, the little black dog said through gritted teeth. Traitor? Are you talking about the little snow leopard? Lung Ruoxue looked at the little guy lying on Thunder Knight's back with an innocent look on his face. That's right. He's the traitor, the little black dog said resentfully. You're wrong. Instead of saying there's a traitor, it's better to say that we're too charismatic. Ha. Lung Ruoxue teased happily while watching the little black dog become deflated. Umph. The little black dog turned his head and ignored the smug demon. Lung Ruoxue stretched out her hand and turned the little black dog's head. Blackie, since there's no task here, when can we leave this place? After 4 more days, the little black dog said irritably. We still have to wait another 4 days? It's too long, Lung Ruoxue said with some dissatisfaction. Alas, I want to leave the mystic realm. 4 days will pass quickly. You can leave the mystic realm then, the little black dog reminded. Are you saying that we can leave the mystic realm 4 days later? Lung Ruoxue was a little uncertain. Did I hear it right? Did Blackie hear my thoughts? Yes. The little black dog nodded. Boo. After 4 more days of enduring, this demon will leave. So great. When can we exchange our points? Lung Ruoxue didn't forget about the points. You will have the chance to exchange before you leave, the little black dog explained. Oh. Blackie, well, stay here for the next 4 days, Lung Ruoxue said with a smile. No, you can't stay here. Leave quickly. The little black dog was scared stiff when he heard that Lung Ruoxue wanted to stay here for a few days. He hurriedly ordered them to leave. This young lady has already decided, Lung Ruoxue said lightly, seemingly acting as the host instead of the guest. I'm the master of this place, the little black dog roared uncontrollably. So what? Didn't you say, welcome to my home when we came in? Lung Ruoxue reminded very kindly. I was just being polite. In fact, I don't welcome you, the little black dog said through gritted teeth. It's too late. Alas. It's easy to invite a god but difficult to send one away. Since the mystic realm teleported us to the plane and we found you here, it's enough to show that we are fated. This is the so-called opportunity, Lung Ruoxue said with a light smile. This is obviously an ill-fated fate. Boo-hoo, the little black dog began to cry. Why am I so unlucky? Blackie, stop crying. Well, only stay for 4 days, Lung Qingtian said very kindly. You can stay on the plane. You don't have to stay here with me, the little black dog complained with tears in his eyes. No, your environment here is good and safe, Lung Ruoxue refused. I won't do as he wants. Yes, it's very dangerous on the plane. Your place is better, Lung Qingtian echoed. It's not dangerous. That bit of danger is nothing with your strength. The little black dog persuaded, unwilling to give up. His greatest wish now was to send this group of plague gods away. Boo! Leave me be. Blackie, you should give up. We're not so easy to get rid of, Lung Ruoxue reminded kindly, not wanting him to waste his breath. Boo-hoo! The little black dog was helpless and resigned to fate. Blackie, bring us into your house for a tour. Lung Ruoxue said. There's nothing to visit here, and it can't accommodate so many of you. The little black dog sobbed. Blackie, it's up to me whether or not the tour is going to happen, Lung Ruoxue reminded coldly. Oh, then let's go. The little black dog compromised, but a trace of scheming flashed in his black eyes. The little black dog led the way into the house and showed them around the rooms. The little black dog led Lung Ruoxue and the others into a room with a light screen and said, This is the control room. You can see everything in the mystic realm here. Lung Ruoxue looked up at the enormous light screen. The entire light screen was divided into several small light screens, each showing a place in the mystic realm. She didn't expect to see a place similar to the surveillance room she knew in her previous life here, except that these light screens were controlled by energy. Blackie, were you happy to see us wandering around the plane like headless flies? Lung Ruoxue said in an unfriendly tone. No. How could I be happy? I'm not that kind of person. Blackie quickly denied, but he couldn't help breaking out in cold sweat. Ooh, how does this demon know? Can she read minds? You're not a person, so of course you will be happy, Lung Ruoxue said understandingly. Ah. The little black dog was very embarrassed and didn't know what to say. Miss, isn't that Huaqing? Feng De pointed at the person in one of the small light screens. Oh, Blackie, where will they be teleported to? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. On the screen, Huaqing was currently entering a teleportation array and heading to his next destination. I'm not sure. The teleportation is random and not controlled by me, the little black dog explained. Ooh, if I could control the teleportation destinations, I would never have brought this group of plague gods to the plane. Chapter 304. A Different World, Spirit of the Mystic Realm, 3. Then tell me, what can you control? Lung Ruoxue originally thought that the Mystic Realm spirit had great authority, but it seemed like he didn't have much power. The rules of the Mystic Realm and some tasks with additional rewards are under my jurisdiction, the little black dog said with a face full of pride. What are the tasks with additional rewards? Lung Ruoxue asked in puzzlement. Just some relatively difficult tasks like the desert labyrinth, the little black dog said. The desert labyrinth was difficult? Lung Ruoxue's face was full of question marks. If this task was considered difficult, then this mystic realm was too lousy. It's definitely not difficult for monsters, the little black dog said meaningfully. Monsters? Blackie, are you talking about me? Lung Ruoxue smiled. No. How could you be a monster? The little black dog quickly denied. Oh, then what am I? Lung Ruoxue asked closely. Genius. You are a one-of-kind peerless genius. The little black dog tried to curry favor with Lung Ruoxue, his face full of flattery. Stop flattering me. Lung Ruoxue rapped the little black dog on the head. He was obviously a dog, but he was imitating humans in curry favoring. It was really embarrassing. Ooh, you hit me again. The little black dog cried aggrievedly, tears glistening in his eyes. Feng De came in front of the little black dog and said with incomparable sympathy, Hee, let me tell you. My young lady hates it when others flatter her. In Miss Words, anyone curry favoring is hiding evil intentions. By the way, Blackie, why was your voice in the desert different from what it is now? Feng De asked curiously. I used a voice changer, the little black dog said honestly. A voice changer? What is it? Lend it to me to play with, Feng De said with interest. That's it. The little black dog pointed at a black square object. Feng De picked up the black square object and fiddled with it nonstop. Hey, this thing is quite fun. Feng De said with the voice changer in his hand. Let me play with it too. When the others saw that Feng De's voice had really changed, they were curious and wanted to try it. For a while, the small voice changer suddenly became popular. Schwer, let's visit the other rooms. Freak whispered to Lung Ruoxue when he saw that everyone's attention was on the voice changer. Oh, Blackie, bring us to the other rooms to take a look, Lung Ruoxue ordered the little black dog in her arms. Okay, the little black dog said with his little head hanging, resigned to his fate. Alas, why isn't this demon interested in the voice changer? He originally thought that he could take the opportunity to escape, but he didn't have the slightest chance. Blackie, I know you're unwilling, but you better be good and not play any tricks. Otherwise, it'll make you regret it, Lung Ruoxue warned coldly. I'm willing. I'm very willing. The little black dog nodded repeatedly. Ooh, how did she discover my thoughts again? Blackie, you have to stay with me obediently for the next few days. You will be free when we leave this place, Lung Ruoxue said with a smile. Her words were equivalent to confining the mystic realm spirit. But she had no choice. He controlled this place after all. If this little thing had any bad intentions, they would be in danger. It'll be good. I promise, the little black dog said with a long face. Boo! This demon is really too terrifying. I can't afford to offend her. I'm not this demon's match. At this moment he didn't have any thoughts at all. He had really accepted his fate. Then you have to be with me and be my guide, Lung Ruoxue said, unmoved. It's useless to pretend to be pitiful in front of me. She didn't trust the mystic realm spirit after all. Yes, I understand, the little black dog answered obediently. Blackie, what is this room for? Lung Ruoxue pushed open the door of a room. This room was actually empty, and there was nothing inside. This room is empty. The little black dog's eyes widened in disbelief as if asking, can't you tell? Ah. 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down Lung Ruoxue's forehead. So it was really just an empty room. She had thought this room had another secret. Boo! How embarrassing! Schwer, let's stay in this room. Freak suppressed his laughter. Schwer is so cute. Okay, Blackie, you have to stay with us. Lung Ruoxue reminded. Got it, the little black dog said resignedly. Big sister, I want to come out. Ball Ball sent Lung Ruoxue a voice transmission from the bracelet. Come out. Lung Ruoxue let Ball Ball out. Big sister. Ball Ball's chubby little body rubbed against Lung Ruoxue's beautiful face and flew out of the room. I really didn't expect you to tame a treasure-seeking beast, the little black dog said in surprise. What, don't you know? Aren't you the mystic realm spirit? Lung Ruoxue said mockingly. I won't stare at the monitor all day. Of course I can't know everything, the little black dog said aggrievedly. He was very busy. Are you being lazy? This is really irresponsible. Lung Ruoxue deliberately misinterpreted his words and advised earnestly. I'm not being lazy. I have too many things to do, the little black dog explained. Oh, I can't tell, Lung Ruoxue said without giving him any face. Why don't you think about it? How could I have obtained so many treasures if I didn't work hard? The little black dog roared angrily while clenching his little paws. Big sister, I found a treasure. Ball Ball's voice sounded. He flew back in less than 10 minutes with an unknown herb in his paws. My spirit luminance grass. Damn treasure-seeking beast. Who allowed you to seek treasures here? The little black dog immediately flew into a rage when he saw the herb in Ball Ball's paws. Chapter 305. A Different World, Spirit of the Mystic Realm. 4. Ball Ball is a treasure-seeking beast. Of course he has to find good treasures. Ball Ball, good job, Lung Ruoxue praised as she took the purple grass from Ball Ball's paws. Oh, big sister, there are so many treasures here. I'll continue looking. Ball Ball rubbed against Lung Ruoxue coquettishly and flew out again. Damn treasure-seeking beast, come back. You're not allowed to go. The little black dog struggled with all his might, wanting to break free from Lung Ruoxue's restraint and capture the hateful treasure-seeking beast. But how could Lung Ruoxue let him have his wish? Blackie, Ball Ball is having fun. Don't stop him, Lung Ruoxue warned very seriously. Boo! Bandits! Boo! My spirit luminance grass. The little black dog wailed loudly. They're really bullying people too much. No, they're bullying a dog too much. Boo! Stop crying. It's just a stalk of grass. Lung Ruoxue said lightly. What do you know? It's something good. The little black dog roared furiously while glaring with his round black eyes. Something good? What's the use of this grass? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously and looked at the purple grass in her hand carefully. The grass was very small, about 5 to 6 centimeters tall, and it was entirely purple and translucent. If she didn't know beforehand that this was a piece of grass, she would definitely think that it was a work of art made of crystal because it was really too exquisite. This grass is very useful to beasts. It can promote divine beasts, the little black dog explained with tears in his eyes. Boo! He was also a beast, so he had always protected this spirit luminance grass as his treasure. But today, the treasure-seeking beast actually discovered it and even pulled it out. Boo! This grass wasn't mature yet. Promote divine beasts? Lung Ruoxue pondered. Oh, it's indeed something good. But what's above divine beast? Master, above divine beast is transcendent divine beast. But because of the level restriction, there are no transcendent divine beasts allowed on the Ling Feng continent. Therefore, we have to go to a higher dimension if we want to advance. Feng Zhan explained via voice transmission from the bracelet. Okay. Lung Ruoxue nodded. It seemed that the situation of the beasts was similar to theirs. After advancing to divine beast, they had to go to higher dimensions to continue improving their strength. Master, we have to leave with this spirit luminance grass. Feng Zhan reminded. But Lung Ruoxue was very helpless. In fact, seeing the little black dog cry so sadly, she wanted to return the grass to him. But she had to first satisfy her beast's request. As for Blackie, she could compensate him with other things. Blackie, since this grass has already been pulled out, it's mine. But I won't take your things for free. I can exchange it with other things, Lung Ruoxue said after some thought. This grass isn't mature yet. It's useless now, the little black dog said with tears in his eyes. It's okay. I can plant it myself. Lung Ruoxue said. You can't plant it anymore. Spirit luminance grass is very precious, and it will die once it leaves the soil. The little black dog choked on a sob. How will we know if we don't try? Lung Ruoxue refused to give up. This grass was really extraordinarily delicate. Indeed, the grass in her hand didn't look as bright as it did before. With a thought, Lung Ruoxue brought Freak and the little black dog into the bracelet. Qingju! Lung Ruoxue called out to the void. Big sister. A small figure appeared out of thin air in front of Lung Ruoxue. You're the spirit of a space too? The little black dog's eyes widened in surprise and disbelief when he saw Qingju. I'm not. Qingju glanced at the little black dog. But the aura on you, the little black dog's face was full of suspicion as he stared at Qingju. I'm an artifact spirit, Qingju explained kindly. Oh, is this your space? The little black dog asked calmly. Yes, everything here is under my control, Qingju answered. Qingju, see if this grass can still be planted and survive. Lung Ruoxue handed the grass in her hand to Qingju. Qingju took the grass and looked at it carefully. Yes, big sister, Qingju said with certainty. Do you really have a way? The little black dog asked anxiously with widened eyes. This grass is very ordinary. There's no need to be too nervous. Qingju smiled gently and then left with the grass. After Lung Ruoxue heard what Qingju said, her forehead was full of black lines. She really didn't know what Qingju considered good. Moreover, she always encountered herbs and minerals that she couldn't name after coming to the mystic realm, making her a little depressed. Alright, I admit that I'm too inexperienced. He's so powerful, the little black dog said with admiration. Blackie, go play by yourself, Lung Ruoxue said gloomily. Okay. The little black dog couldn't ask for more. He just happened to want to tour this place. Schwer, what's wrong with you? Freak asked in puzzlement as he wrapped his arms around Lung Ruoxue's waist. Why did Schwer become so down all of a sudden? Freak, I'm depressed, Lung Ruoxue said softly. Why are you depressed? Freak was a little confused. I didn't do anything wrong, right? After coming to the mystic realm, I was dealt a blow. There are so many things here that I don't know. Boo-hoo, Lung Ruoxue said pensively. Schwer, I thought something big happened. What's wrong with that? Well, naturally no more when we see more in the future. Freak comforted. Phew, that scared me. Yes, everything is in Master's heaven-defying art. It's just that I'm not strong enough to see them now, Lung Ruoxue explained. She had already told Freak about her master after he woke up. Schwer, don't be anxious. Cultivation can't be rushed, Freak coaxed. I know. Ball is calling me from outside. Let's go out. Lung Ruoxue said after hearing Ball's voice. Freak nodded. Lung Ruoxue brought him out of the bracelet, leaving the little black dog inside. Chapter 306. A Different World, Spirit of the Mystic Realm, 5. Big Sister, Big Sister. Ball Ball couldn't help spinning around anxiously when he didn't see Lung Ruoxue after flying back. Ball Ball. Lung Ruoxue hugged Ball Ball, who was spinning around. Big Sister, here's a treasure for you. Ball Ball handed Lung Ruoxue more herbs as if he was presenting treasures again. Ball Ball, where did you gather these herbs? Lung Ruoxue sent the herbs into the bracelet. In the cave. Ball Ball tilted his head in thought. What cave? Lung Ruoxue was curious. They didn't see a cave here when they came. Big Sister, come with me. Ball Ball volunteered before leaving Lung Ruoxue's arms and flying away. Freak, let's follow Ball Ball and have a look, Lung Ruoxue said. Blackie should have planted those herbs. What else is there? Okay. The two of them followed Ball Ball around and arrived at a basement. They walked down the stairs. This. Lung Ruoxue's eyes widened in surprise. What a big herbal garden. Although it was planted in a basement, there was plenty of light in here. Lung Ruoxue approached the herbal garden and was surprised to find that poisonous herbs were planted together with non-toxic ones. Moreover, all the herbs were growing very well, as if they were not affected at all. This was really too unbelievable. Looks like the Mystic Realm spirit has some special skills, Lung Ruoxue praised. Schwer, what flower is this? Freak pointed at a huge black flower curiously. Freak, that's black sandalwood. Stay away from that flower. It's poisonous, Lung Ruoxue reminded. Oh, isn't this a herbal garden? Why plant poisonous flowers here? Freak asked in puzzlement. Those flowers are also medicinal herbs, Lung Ruoxue explained. Oh, Schwer, why do you think the Mystic Realm spirit planted so many herbs? He doesn't know how to concoct pills. Freak's handsome face was full of question marks. Probably bored. Lung Ruoxue guessed. Didn't Qingju also like to plant these things? Very possible. Schwer, I'm a bit bored now. Let's kiss. Freak suggested with an expectant expression. Damn Freak, seducing me again. She was very angry now, and the consequences were serious. Lung Ruoxue angrily lowered Freak's head and kissed those two alluring red lips. Oh Schwer, I love you. Freak said affectionately while taking a breath. Damn Freak, I love you too. Lung Ruoxue kissed Freak's lips again, taking the initiative from him. After a long while, the two of them left each other's arms reluctantly. Big Sister, what were you doing just now? Ball Ball asked curiously with wide eyes. I was giving him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. He was suffocating. Lung Ruoxue lied through her teeth with an awkward expression on her face. Damn it. I actually forgot about Ball Ball. She didn't know if this would teach children bad things. Schwer, I'm suffocating again. I still need mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Freak smiled charmingly and kept winking at Lung Ruoxue. Lung Ruoxue rolled her eyes at Freak and ignored him. Big brother, let me help you. Ball Ball said kindly. No need. I'm fine now, Freak said hurriedly as 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down his forehead. Ha! Seeing Freak's embarrassment, Lung Ruoxue laughed happily. Schwer, how can you laugh at me? Freak complained aggrievedly with tears in his eyes. Ha! Let's go out. Lung Ruoxue said happily while holding Freak's hand. After leaving the basement with Ball Ball, they returned to the living room. Schwer, where did you go? Lung Qingtian, who had been looking for them, couldn't help asking. Grandpa, we went to other places. What's the matter? Lung Ruoxue asked doubtfully. Oh, what about Blackie? Blackie should be with Schwer, right? But Lung Qingtian didn't find the shadow of the little black dog beside Schwer. I sent him into the space. He's having fun inside. Lung Ruoxue explained. Oh, that's good. Lung Qingtian was relieved. They wouldn't be able to leave if Blackie disappeared. Hi, Grandpa, don't worry. I won't let that little black dog leave my side, Lung Ruoxue promised. Schwer, don't you think that someone seems to have lived here before? Lung Qingtian asked his doubts. He had just walked around this house and found many clues, and those traces absolutely didn't belong to a little dog. Yes, I have this idea too, but I'm afraid even Blackie doesn't know who once lived here. Perhaps it was the previous owner of this mystic realm. Lung Ruoxue guessed. In fact, she had already suspected it when she first entered this house, especially after seeing that enormous light screen. It wasn't something that a little dog could do at all. Moreover, the little dog didn't seem to have any attack power, or he wouldn't have allowed her to bully him. Can the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm really have a master? Lung Qingtian murmured, frowning. Grandpa, don't let your imagination run wild, Lung Ruoxue said helplessly and let Blackie out of the bracelet. But why am I out? Send me back quickly, Blackie said with dissatisfaction. He was learning from Big Bro Qingju. He couldn't just leave. Blackie, let me ask you, has anyone else lived here before? Lung Ruoxue asked straightforwardly. Only you have been here since I was born. I'm not sure about how it was before, Blackie said while scratching its head. Grandpa, wasn't I right? Lung Ruoxue sent Blackie back into the bracelet after confirming it. Forget it. Let's not think about it. Anyway, we still have 4 days before we leave this place. It's good as long as there's no danger. Lung Qingtian no longer bothered with this issue. Grandpa, have you chosen your rooms? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Yes, we've all chosen. Swear, this house is really good. It doesn't look too big from the outside, but I didn't expect there to be so many rooms inside, Lung Qingtian said with satisfaction. Chapter 307. A Different World, Spirit of the Mystic Realm, 6. Grandpa, actually, this isn't an ordinary house, Lung Ruoxue explained. Others might not be able to tell, but she knew very well that this house was actually a divine artifact. Are you saying that an artificer refined this house? Lung Qingtian asked in disbelief. Yes, the refining technique of this house is the same as what Master taught me. But I can't refine such a house at my current level, Lung Ruoxue said. She felt a familiar aura in this house, so, although Lung Ruoxue wasn't sure if this mystic realm was related to her master, she felt her master's aura in this house. Moreover, as far as she knew, the refining technique her master taught her was unique. So it was impossible for other artificers to know unless it was her 2 senior brothers, whom she had never met before. Of course, this was only her suspicion. Swear, do you mean that you can also refine a house like this in the future? Lung Qingtian asked excitedly. Yes, Grandpa. This house and storage rings are both space-type equipment, but houses are much harder to refine than storage rings. Moreover, you can also carry around a house like this with you, so it's very convenient, Lung Ruoxue explained. Yes. If we have such a house, we won't have to worry about sleeping in the wilderness when we go out for training, Lung Qingtian said excitedly. Grandpa, ordinary refining methods can't refine space equipment like houses, so, Lung Ruoxue hesitated. In fact, she wanted to remind her grandfather not to get too excited because she couldn't refine such a house now. I understand, Lung Qingtian said. It was better to have hope than no hope. Moreover, he believed that his granddaughter would be able to refine a house one day. Swear, Grandpa won't be a third wheel any longer. Grandpa will go and arrange dinner. Lung Qingtian turned and left. Swear, do you feel the pressure? Freak teased with a chuckle. Fortunately, there will only be motivation with pressure. Lung Ruoxue said nonchalantly. In fact, she could refine divine artifacts as long as she cultivated her heaven-defying art to the 5th level and evolved her flames. But the success rate would be very low. Mommy! Suddenly, Little Fire's voice sounded in Lung Ruoxue's mind. What's the matter, Little Fire? Lung Ruoxue asked. Little Fire misses Mommy and Daddy, Little Fire said coquettishly. Freak, Little Fire said he misses us, Lung Ruoxue said. Hasn't that little guy been sleeping? Freak asked. Yes, he's woken up. Lung Ruoxue thought about it and released all her beasts, including the thousands of silver wolves. As soon as they appeared, they occupied the entire room. Fortunately, all the beasts were in their transformed state. Otherwise, they would really not be able to fit inside. Mommy! Big sister! As soon as Little Fire, Baby, and the other beasts emerged, they pounced on Lung Ruoxue. In the blink of an eye, fluffy little animals covered her body. Big sister. Boo. Baby missed you so much. Baby hugged Lung Ruoxue coquettishly with tears in his eyes. Baby, don't you see big sister every day? Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. Although there were many beasts now, she would still visit them in the bracelet whenever she had time. Baby used to accompany big sister every day. Boo-hoo, Baby said with dissatisfaction. Don't cry. Big sister will let you out whenever there's a chance in the future, okay? Lung Ruoxue coaxed. Okay. Baby finally smiled, satisfied. Mommy, I want to come out and accompany Mommy too, Little Fire said. Little Fire, you can't stay outside, Lung Ruoxue said in disapproval. Little Fire was a 10,000-year-old fire lotus. If knowledgeable people discovered him, it would be dangerous. Mommy! Little Fire looked at Lung Ruoxue with tears in his eyes and pleaded. There's no room for negotiation. Lung Ruoxue hardened her heart. Daddy! Little Fire turned to Freak for help. You have to listen to Mommy, Little Fire, Freak coaxed. He understood Schwer's concerns, so of course he wouldn't undermine her. Alright. Woo-woo, Little Fire lowered his head and sobbed softly. All of you can move freely, but don't run off. Lung Ruoxue said to the beasts. Yes, master, the beasts replied and then toured around in an orderly manner. Charm, aren't you going to take a look? Lung Ruoxue asked when she saw Charm, Quill, and a few others not moving. I'm not interested, Charm said nonchalantly. This place is far inferior to master space. Me neither, Quill said. His curiosity wasn't strong to begin with, and he had been nurtured by his master, so his horizons had improved a lot. How could he be interested in this place? Master, this place is very boring. Dazzle said with a face full of disdain. Master, I'm going to sleep. Rise wrapped himself around Lung Ruoxue's wrist, greeted her, and closed his eyes. Freak stood by the side and watched as Schwer's wrist was occupied by a golden white snake and her body was occupied by Baby and the other beasts. The sour bubbles in his heart began to emerge again. Lung Ruoxue couldn't resist smiling when she looked at these incomparably cute beasts with different personalities and the jealous Freak. Hee hee, it's so good to have them accompany me. Suddenly she had an idea. With a thought, she returned to the bracelet with the few beasts and Freak. Big sister, why did you send us in again? Baby asked in puzzlement. Have fun by yourselves. Big sister will go and see Big sister Mo, Lung Ruoxue said. She suddenly remembered that she hadn't seen Mo Inoue for a long time. The last time she saw her was after she had destroyed the spiritual deities and brought them back. At the time, Big sister Mo was already more than 2 months pregnant. After that, Big sister Mo often went into seclusion. She should be giving birth soon, right? Chapter 308. Can I go with you? 1. Freak, let's go visit Big sister Mo. Lung Ruoxue turned to Freak. Okay. He nodded. Qingju, Lung Ruoxue called out into the void. Big sister. Qingju appeared out of thin air, and the little black dog followed closely behind him. Qingju, send us to Big sister Mo. Lung Ruoxue ordered. Okay, Big sister. Qingju answered and then disappeared into thin air with Lung Ruoxue and Freak. Ruoxue, you're here. Mo Inoue, who was taking a stroll in the yard, said happily as soon as she saw them arrive at her residence. Big sister Mo, are you giving birth soon? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously while looking at Mo Yingyu's big belly. She heard from Baby that Big sister Mo was carrying twins. But she didn't tell Mo Inoue this news. Yes, in just a few days, Mo Inoue said with a look of bliss. She had always been well-behaved and stayed in Ruoxue's space to cultivate for the sake of her child's future good aptitude. Big sister Mo, you don't have to be confined anymore after giving birth to your baby, Lung Ruoxue teased. Ruoxue, did you forget about Big sister Mo? Mo Inoue asked with a face full of realization. No, how could I forget Big sister Mo? Lung Ruoxue said with a guilty conscience. In fact, she really did forget about her, but she didn't do it on purpose. It's been half a year since you visited Big Sister Mo. How dare you say you didn't forget? Mo Inoue exposed her. I was just afraid of disturbing Big Sister Mo's cultivation. Lung Ruoxue quibbled. Fine, that's reasonable. Ruoxue, why do you have the time to see me today? Mo Inoue asked, no longer making things difficult for Lung Ruoxue. We are now in the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm. Do you want to go out and take a look? Lung Ruoxue threw out bait. This was also the main reason why she remembered Mo Inoue. Can I? Mo Inoue asked with uncertainty. Of course she wanted to go out and take a look, but she was afraid of causing trouble for Ruoxue. Of course, the place we're staying now is very safe, Lung Ruoxue explained. Then quickly bring me out for a tour, Mo Inoue said impatiently. What about Li Yuan? Lung Ruoxue asked in puzzlement. Why didn't she see Li Yuan? He's still in seclusion. We don't have to worry about him, Mo Inoue said without any sense of loyalty. You're about to give birth. Why is he still in seclusion? Lung Ruoxue said with some dissatisfaction. What kind of man is this? He's too much. Ruoxue, he's about to break through. I asked him to enter seclusion, Mo Inoue quickly explained. She didn't want Ruoxue to misunderstand her husband. Isn't he worried about you? Lung Ruoxue said with some displeasure. I told him he didn't need to worry with Ruoxue and the old patriarch around. Ruoxue, don't blame him. Mo Inoue explained honestly. This is between you two. I can't be bothered. Lung Ruoxue harumphed. Ruoxue, quickly take me out. Mo Inoue urged. This was a rare opportunity. How could she let it go? Let's go. With a thought from Lung Ruoxue, the three of them left the bracelet and appeared in the room. Then she let Baby and the other beasts out. The moment Mo Inoue emerged from the bracelet, Mo Inoue ran out of the house impatiently. Wow, this is the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm. Mo Inoue exclaimed. Although it wasn't as good as Ruoxue's space, it was much better than the Ling Feng continent. Little girl, why did you let this pregnant woman out? Old man asked anxiously as he watched Mo Inoue looking around excitedly. His great-great-great-grandchildren were in there. What if something happened? Old man, what are you worried about? She's about to give birth, Old Zhao said indifferently. I'm worried because she's about to give birth. Old man roared furiously. Old man, don't be too nervous. The children are stable now, Lin Liang said helplessly. Old man, you don't have to worry. I guarantee that your great-great-great-grandchildren will be healthy. Lung Ruoxue sighed softly. Alas, poor Big Sister Mo is almost being treated like a prisoner by Old Man. After looking around, Mo Inoue walked to Lung Ruoxue's side and asked, Ruoxue, how many days will we stay here? We will stay here for 4 days including today, Lung Ruoxue said. 4 days? Ruoxue, you'll be staying outside these 4 days then, Mo Inoue said happily. No. Go back to the space obediently, Old Man shouted before Lung Ruoxue could agree. Old Patriarch, I haven't been out for a long time, Mo Inoue said with an aggrieved expression. There were many people accompanying her in the space, but staying in one place all the time was boring. Old Man, let Big Sister Mo stay outside. Lung Ruoxue pleaded. All right. Old Man compromised. Thank you, Old Patriarch, Mo Inoue said happily. 3 days passed quickly. In these 3 days, everyone stayed in the control room the longest because they could see the entire Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm from there. Except for eating, Mo Inoue, Feng De, and the others stayed in front of the light screen at all times, unwilling to move half a step away. On the morning of the 4th day, Schwer, should we leave this place today? Freak asked while hugging Schwer's slender waist in the room. Yes, it should be today. I just don't know when we'll be sent out, Lung Ruoxue said after some thought. Blackie had told them to wait for 4 days, and today was the 4th day. Freak, let's ask Blackie. Lung Ruoxue continued. Okay. With a thought from Lung Ruoxue, the two of them immediately disappeared into thin air. Qing Ju, Lung Ruoxue called out into the void in the bracelet. Big Sister, I'm here, A toddler and a little black dog appeared in front of them. Chapter 309. Can I go with you? 2. Blackie, it's already the 4th day today. When can we be sent out? Lung Ruoxue asked bluntly. You will leave the mystic realm at midnight tonight. The little black dog looked at Qingju with reluctance. Ooh, why did time pass so quickly? Oh, Blackie, when will we be able to exchange our points? Lung Ruoxue asked again. She was really curious what points could be exchanged for. Before you leave, it'll give you a chance to exchange. But you have to think about what to exchange them for because you can't change once you've decided, the little black dog reminded. Blackie, can you tell us what we will be able to exchange them for? Lung Ruoxue said with a smile. There are many things like pills, medicinal herbs, ores, sacred artifacts, holy beasts, divine beasts, and so on. You will know when the time comes, the little black dog explained simply. He wasn't very clear what exactly there was. Blackie, we have more than 40,000 points each. How many things can we exchange for? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Feng De and the others didn't attack in the desert labyrinth, but they also had a share of the points they obtained there because they belonged to Lung Ruoxue's team. As such, the points in their hands were considerable. A lot. The mystic realm has few places that give points, so points are very precious. The things that can be exchanged for are also of better quality. In short, you are very lucky, the little black dog said with some envy. Yes, he was envious of their good luck. For the long time since he had become the spirit of the mystic realm, no one had obtained so many good things like them. Blackie, thank you. Lung Ruoxue left the bracelet with Freak after understanding the situation. After leaving the bracelet, Lung Ruoxue and Freak came to the living room to look for Lung Qingtian and the others. Grandpa. Shuer, are you looking for us? Lung Qingtian asked curiously. Yes, Grandpa. We will be leaving at midnight tonight, Lung Ruoxue said directly. Midnight? We already know the exact time. Lung Qingtian said in surprise. He was just discussing with these old men about when they would leave this place. Yes, Grandpa. We can exchange our points before we leave. I heard from Blackie that there are pills, herbs, and so on, so I want to discuss with you how we should exchange our points. Lung Ruoxue revealed her intentions. What pills are there? Is there anything that can help advance people directly to spiritual deity? Lin Liang asked curiously. As far as he knew, his master had obtained a pill in the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm that he used to advance to spiritual deity. And after becoming a spiritual deity, he left the Ling Feng continent. Alas, he didn't know how his master was doing now. I don't know the details. We'll know when we do the exchange, Lung Ruoxue explained. No matter what there are, of course we have to choose the best of the best, Old Man said matter-of-factly with a frown. That's for sure. But I think it's best if it's stuff we can use. If we can't use them, then it's useless no matter how good they are. The Feng family's first elder said. Yes. Everyone nodded in agreement. Exchange for more materials. We'll definitely be able to use them when we go to other dimensions, Old Zhao suggested. Old Man glared and roared unhappily. Exchange for materials? We've already collected so many. What do you know? If we go to other dimensions where we're unfamiliar with the place and people, the most profitable occupations will be alchemists and artificers. So of course we have to save up more materials. Otherwise, all of us will go hungry. Old Zhao yelled at Old Man, then we can exchange for herbs, but we don't have to exchange for ores. Old Man said contrary to his tune. Why you're deliberately going against me, aren't you? Old Zhao was so angry that he was at a loss for words. Yes. Old Man smiled. It's useless even if you go against me. You are my defeated. With that, not only did Old Zhao become less angry, but he even became smug. This time, it was Old Man's turn to be speechless with anger. There's gossip. Everyone present pricked up their ears to listen after hearing the conversation between the two old men, afraid to miss any details. But they didn't hear any inside information. The two old men, who were hundreds of years old, stared at each other like fighting chickens. No one spoke. Let's exchange for good things first. Exchange for herbs and minerals if there are still points left. Lung Ruoxue said after a while, breaking the somewhat depressing atmosphere. Okay. It settled then. Everyone unanimously approved this plan. Grandpa, are Feng Da and the others still in the control room? Lung Ruoxue asked. They're still there. I don't know what's there to see. Those brats are there all day long, Lung Qingtian said speechlessly. Hee, he'll go find Feng Da and the others. Lung Ruoxue left the living room with Freak and went straight to the control room. The control room was in a mess because of the small voice changer. Give it back. Mo Ingyue roared while glaring at Lin Yuan. You have been playing with it for so long. It's my turn now, Lin Yuan said lightly. Big sister Mo, you are pregnant. Be careful and rest more. Lung Ruoxue was a little speechless when she saw Mo Ingyue and Lin Yuan fighting over the voice changer when she entered the control room. Alas. She was a little regretful now that she let this restless woman out. Mo Ingyue was so active. Old Man and Li Yuan would fight her if the fetus was affected. I'm fine. Ruoxue, don't tell on me. Mo Ingyue said shyly. I came to tell you that we're leaving tonight, Lung Ruoxue said to Feng Da and the others. So soon? Mo Ingyue said with some disappointment. She hadn't had enough fun yet, but she was about to leave. Chapter 310. Can I go with you? 3. Big Sister Mo, there will be no one here after the Mystic Realm closes, so there won't be anything interesting to watch, Lung Ruoxue said understandingly. Yeah, that's true. Mo Ingyue nodded. Lung Ruoxue told Feng Da and the others when they were leaving and the things they needed to exchange for before leaving the control room with Freak. Schwer, where are we going? Freak asked curiously after exiting the house. Let's go pick some herbs, Lung Ruoxue said. Qingju just sent her a voice transmission to go to Blackie's herb garden to pick some herbs that weren't in the bracelet. Did that little black dog agree? Freak asked in disbelief. Yes, he agreed, Lung Ruoxue said with a smile. Alas. Qingju had a way. Blackie cried as though the sky was falling when Ball Ball picked a herb from his garden. She didn't expect him to be so generous now. Then let's pick more. Freak said with a smirk. Just pick one of each that we don't already have. Otherwise, Blackie will cry to death, Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. She had already forbidden Ball Ball from going to the garden to pick herbs in order not to make the little black dog cry. Ball Ball had been bored to death these few days. While speaking, they arrived at the basement. After entering, Lung Ruoxue let Ball Ball out. Ball Ball, pick what Big Sister doesn't have. Lung Ruoxue ordered. Yes. Ball Ball nodded obediently and flapped his little wings as he flew toward the herbs nearby. Freak, be careful. Many herbs are poisonous, Lung Ruoxue reminded. Yes, wife. Freak blinked his shiny black eyes and began to tempt Lung Ruoxue again. Concentrate. Lung Ruoxue said angrily. Damn Freak, he keeps seducing me, making my heart beat crazily. Hee. Freak smiled proudly, then lowered his head and focused on picking herbs. The two of them and the beast worked for half an hour and finally gathered all the herbs they needed. Lung Ruoxue left the garden with Ball Ball in her arms. Time passed and night soon arrived. In the living room, everyone was sitting together, eating and waiting for the last moment to leave the creek of Affinity Mystic Realm. Lung Ruoxue had already let the little black dog out of the bracelet. At this moment, the little black dog was lying on the ground with a depressed face and a lot on his mind. Blackie, there are your favorite bones. If you don't come, I'll give them to Feng Feng. Lung Ruoxue said threateningly with a bone twice the size of Blackie's body in her hand. But the little black dog was motionless, lying on the ground. Blackie! Lung Ruoxue called out again, her heart full of question marks. What's wrong with this little dog? He's so listless. The little black dog laid on the ground, looking at Lung Ruoxue and the others with complicated feelings. He had always thought that he was only a sprite and had no feelings. But after interacting with them for a few days, he realized that he was wrong. He liked being with them very much, especially Big Bro Qingju, who had given him many things. However, they were leaving tonight, and it was unlikely that he would have the chance to see them again in the future. Boo-hoo, although Lung Ruoxue was still the demon in his heart, later on, this demon still treated him well, so he couldn't bear to part with her. Boo-hoo, he didn't want them to leave. As he thought about it, tears flowed uncontrollably from his big, black, bright eyes like pearls from a broken string. Blackie, why are you crying? Lung Ruoxue walked to the little black dog and picked him up, her beautiful eyes full of doubts. I don't want you guys to leave. The little black dog sobbed. Blackie, no one will disturb you if we leave. Moreover, nothing lasts forever. We can't stay here forever, Lung Ruoxue comforted very patiently. Then can I leave with you? The little black dog asked expectantly. He had just made up his mind. Can you leave this place? Lung Ruoxue asked in surprise. Yes, I can. The little black dog nodded. He was born and could leave the mystic realm, but he had never thought of leaving this place before. Blackie, you are the spirit of the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm. What will happen to the mystic realm if you leave? Lung Ruoxue asked in puzzlement. Can the Creek of Affinity Mystic Realm also recognize someone as its master? The center of the mystic realm is this house. I can bring this house with me so that I can leave with you, Blackie explained. After you leave with us, can the mystic realm still open? Lung Ruoxue couldn't help asking. Yes, the mystic realm only opens once every 1,000 years. When the mystic realm closes, I am also floating around in the universe. As long as I bring this house with me, I can enter the mystic realm at any time, the little black dog continued. Grandpa, what do you think? Lung Ruoxue turned to look at everyone. The little black dog also turned his head, and his big watery and shiny black eyes looked at everyone expectantly. Schwer, take him with you. Lung Qingshan's heart softened a little seeing the pitiful appearance of the little black dog. Alas, a motherless child was like a blade of grass. The little black dog had been alone since birth. Now that he had met people who could give him rare warmth, of course he would be reluctant to leave this warmth. Thank you, Grandpa. The little black dog jumped into Lung Qingshan's arms happily and rubbed against him affectionately. Hee, you little fellow, you have to be obedient. Lung Qingtian reminded. Yes, I will obey the little girl, the little black dog promised as he raised a little paw. Blackie, you have to call me big sister, okay? Call me a little girl again, and I'll beat you up. Lung Ruoxue threatened. I'm older than you, the little black dog whispered unwillingly. Oh. Lung Ruoxue glanced over indifferently. Big sister, you will be big sister from now on, the little black dog said hurriedly, his fluffy little face full of fear. Boo! Demon! Chapter 311. Can I go with you? 4. Everyone couldn't help laughing out loud when they saw how scared the little black dog was. Blackie, from now on, can we enter your mystic realm at any time? Fonda asked after laughing enough. The little black dog raised his little head and said, I can let you in when the mystic realm opens but not when it's closed because the rules of the mystic realm will repel you. Oh. Everyone nodded. Blackie, then if we need materials in the mystic realm, can you take them out for us? Old Zao asked with a smile. Yes, that's not a problem, the little black dog said with certainty. As the spirit of the mystic realm, he still had these little privileges. Phew. That's good, old Zao said happily. With Blackie, they would have an inexhaustible natural treasure vault. It was great. Everyone was chatting and laughing and kept feeding Blackie delicious food, trying their best to please him. You can exchange your points now, Blackie suddenly shouted excitedly. How? Lung Ruoxue looked around doubtfully but found nothing. Don't worry. I'll begin soon, Blackie said. Just as Blackie finished speaking, a small screen appeared in front of Lung Ruoxue and the others. Lung Ruoxue looked at the screen and was surprised because this screen was actually similar to the LCD screens in her previous life. There were several options listed on the screen. She tapped one of them with her finger, and countless more options appeared. She looked at the touch screen in a daze, her doubts deepening. The others were completely dumbfounded because they didn't know how to operate this thing. How do we use this thing? Fengde asked what everyone was thinking. Choose whichever option you are interested in and touch it with your finger, Blackie explained. You have to choose seriously, Blackie added. After returning to her senses, Lung Ruoxue looked through all the items carefully. She then exchanged 2,000 points for 2 accumulation elixirs. The accumulation elixir was a pill that could promote a spiritual supremacy to a spiritual deity. She exchanged the rest of her points for herbs and minerals. As for holy beasts and divine beasts, she didn't exchange for them because the points required were too high. Moreover, she didn't really need them. Lung Ruoxue was the first to finish exchanging. Not long later, Freak also finished. Shuer, here you go. Freak took the initiative to hand over his exchanged item to Lung Ruoxue. Lung Ruoxue took the storage ring from Freak, sent the items inside into the Heaven and Earth bracelet, and then returned the ring to him. Shuer, Grandpa is done exchanging too. Lung Qingtian also handed her a storage ring. Okay. Lung Ruoxue took the ring and did the same. Shuer here. Miss here. Lass for you. After a while, Lung Ruhan, Fengde, and the others also finished exchanging their points and handed the things in their hands to Lung Ruoxue for safekeeping. Big sister, the points are exchanged. You're going out soon, the little black dog said excitedly. Lung Ruoxue nodded. Everyone came to the garden and waited together. Before long, Lung Ruoxue and the others felt a strong light enveloping them. Big sister, send me into your space. The little black dog put away the house and jumped into Lung Ruoxue's arms. Okay. Lung Ruoxue nodded, sent Blackie into the bracelet, and closed her eyes. When the strong light disappeared, Lung Ruoxue and the others opened their eyes. They had already returned to the general's mansion. Hee, we're finally back, Lung Qingtian said emotionally. Grandpa, it's late today. Everyone should rest early. Let's discuss the future tomorrow, Lung Ruoxue said. Okay, everyone, go and rest. Lung Qingtian urged. Everyone nodded and returned to their rooms to sleep. The next day after lunch, Lung Ruoxue and the others gathered in the living room. What are your thoughts? Let's talk about them. Lung Qingtian looked around at everyone. I've decided to enter seclusion, Lung Ruoxue said first. She had yet to break through the 3rd level of the heaven-defying art, so she had to hurry up. I've also decided to enter seclusion. If I can break through to spiritual deity by myself, I won't have to take the accumulation elixir, Lin Liang said. Haha, as long as the last breaks through to spiritual deity first, I don't need to be in a hurry, Old Zhao said with a chuckle. Dream on. Don't drag us down. Old man said with displeasure. Teehee, even the last doesn't care. Who do you think you are? Old Zhao said disdainfully. Stop arguing. Listen to me. Anyone who wants to enter seclusion can enter seclusion. But it's best if you wait for me to break through before you advance. This way, we can leave the Ling Feng continent together. But I don't know how long it will take me, so you have to be patient, Lung Ruoxue said after some thought. Little girl. I'm not in a hurry. Old man said. Lass, I'm not going into seclusion. I want to refine artifacts. Leave some materials for me before you enter seclusion. Old Zhao reminded. You can ask Qingju for more if there's not enough. Lung Ruoxue nodded. Big sister, Mo Ingyue is about to give birth. Qingju's voice sounded in Lung Ruoxue's mind. With a thought, Lung Ruoxue moved everyone in the living room into the bracelet. Shuer, why did you send us into the space? Lung Qingtian asked doubtfully. Big sister Mo is going to give birth, Lung Ruoxue explained. Bring me there quickly, old man said anxiously. Qingju, Lung Ruoxue called out softly, and everyone instantly appeared at Mo Yingyu's residence. Chapter 312, Departure, 1. Old Patriarch Ruoxue, you're here. Li Yuan, who was pacing around anxiously outside the room, greeted everyone when he saw them before he began circling the house again. Stinky brat, how is the situation? Old man asked anxiously. She's giving birth, Li Yuan said with a pale face. At this moment, Mo Yingyu's painful howl came from the room, causing Li Yuan's heart to wrench again. He paced faster. You stinky brat, are you done circling? My head is dizzy because of you, the distraught old man roared at the top of his lungs. Old patriarch. Li Yuan looked at the furious old patriarch aggrievedly and stopped obediently. Ooh. He was nervous. As soon as he emerged from seclusion, Yingyue was about to give birth. This was too sudden for him. He wasn't prepared at all. You what you? Go outside to the yard, old man shouted with widened eyes. Yes, old patriarch. Li Yuan looked pitiful as he walked to the yard. Lung Ruoxue looked at Li Yuan sympathetically and asked in disapproval, Old man, why are you being so fierce to him? He's useless here. He'll only add to the chaos, old man said angrily. Wah! A baby's cry sounded from the room just as old man finished speaking. Born! Li Yuan yelled happily and jumped in directly from the yard. Old patriarch, young master, young madam gave birth to twins. A maidservant walked out of the room and bowed to report. Boys or girls? Li Yuan asked anxiously. They are 2 young masters, the maidservant said happily. Why are they both boys? Li Yuan murmured, his handsome face full of dissatisfaction. What's wrong with boys? Stinky brat, quickly go in and see your wife. Old man raised his leg and kicked Li Yuan's but fiercely, directly kicking him into the room. Ha! Everyone laughed when they saw Li Yuan in such a sorry state. Grandpa, let's go back first. Don't get in their way, Lung Ruoxue said to Lung Qingtian and the others. Mo Yingyue and her husband must have a lot to talk about. Okay, let's go back and see the babies tomorrow, Lung Qingtian said tactfully. After leaving Mo Yingyu's residence, Lung Ruoxue and the others didn't leave the bracelet but returned to their bamboo houses. After entering the purple bamboo house, Lung Ruoxue went to the refining room with Freak. She planned to refine a small gift for the 2 babies. Shuer, what do you want to refine? Freak asked curiously when he saw Lung Ruoxue preparing to refine artifacts. I want to refine a pair of longevity locks, Lung Ruoxue said. People in this world traditionally gave longevity locks to newborn babies, so she had to follow the customs. What should I give them then? Freak frowned in slight distress. He didn't know how to refine artifacts or concoct pills. Alas, what should I give them? You don't have to worry. Won't my gift count as yours too? Lung Ruoxue said in realization. Damn Freak, he was waiting for me to say this. Hee, what Shuer says makes sense. Freak's incomparably handsome face was full of pride. Lung Ruoxue lit the furnace fire and threw the materials into the furnace one by one. After the materials melted into liquid, she began to remove the impurities and purify them. Then she controlled the liquid to mold it according to what she imagined in her mind and finally tempered and finalized it. After she completed this set of procedures, 2 small and cute golden locks lay quietly in her white palm. So cute. Aren't they a little small though? Freak picked up a longevity lock that wasn't even as big as his fingernail. They will become normal size after acknowledging their masters, Lung Ruoxue explained. Defensive sacred artifacts? Freak said in realization. Yes. Lung Ruoxue nodded. Freak, I've decided to enter seclusion after visiting the babies tomorrow. What about you? Lung Ruoxue asked. I will accompany you in your seclusion. Freak said matter-of-factly. 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down Lung Ruoxue's forehead. What does Freak mean? Is he going to enter seclusion with me? Shuer, I promise I won't disturb you, Freak promised very seriously. He just didn't want to be too far away from her. Ooh, he'll go crazy if I don't see Shuer for too long. Alright. Well, enter seclusion tomorrow, Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. The next day, Lung Ruoxue and Freak went to see the babies, informed Lung Qingtian and the others, and then officially entered seclusion. After Lung Ruoxue went into seclusion, Lung Qingtian and the others also began to enter seclusion one after another. 3 months later, in the Heaven and Earth bracelet. Brat Lin, you're out of seclusion? Old man, who was sitting on a stone bench, asked when he saw Lin Liang emerge from his bamboo house in high spirits. Yes, where are the others? Haven't they come out yet? Lin Liang asked curiously when he saw that only Old Man was here. No, you're the first to come out, Old Man explained. Except for him and Old Zao, everyone else chose to enter seclusion. Where's Old Zao? He didn't enter seclusion either. Why are you alone? Lin Liang asked in puzzlement. He went to the Dragon Clan, Old Man said lightly. When Little Girl and the others weren't around, the old thing had begun to show off everywhere. After a while, he had urged his dragon to bring him to the Dragon Clan to play. He had gone for more than a month. Wasn't he going to refine artifacts? Why did he go to the Dragon Clan? The dragons don't really welcome humans. Isn't he afraid that he won't be able to return? Lin Liang said speechlessly. Why is Old Zao so worrisome? It's better if he doesn't come back. Old Man gloated. At the thought that Old Zao might not come back, his old face was about to bloom with laughter. Old Zao is back. Qing Ju's words dampened Old Man's beautiful dreams just as he was gloating happily. Little baby, are you sure? Old Man asked gloomily. Chapter 313, Departure, 2. See for yourself if you don't believe me. And he didn't come back alone. Qing Ju pointed outside. Old Man and Lin Liang looked in the direction Qing Ju was pointing. Their expressions changed immediately. What did this mean? Did Old Zao become a hostage? Qing Ju, let me out to take a look, Lin Liang said to Qing Ju after some thought. No need. As Qing Ju spoke, he had already moved Old Zao into the bracelet from outside. Damn old thing, what did you do? As soon as Old Man saw Old Zao, he chased after him and started fighting him. But it's not my fault. But they insisted on following me. I'm wronged, Old Zao cried out while hiding everywhere. Brat Lin, save me. Old Zao pleaded with Lin Liang for help. But Lin Liang turned his head to the side and pretended not to hear him. What are you doing? A dignified voice interrupted them all of a sudden. Oldling, save me. This old man is crazy. Old Zao ran to Lung Qingtian and hid behind him. You two old men are hundreds of years old. Why are you still acting like children? Lung Qingtian said helplessly. As soon as he emerged from seclusion, he saw one old man chasing the other around. Fortunately, there were few people here now. Otherwise, it would be ridiculous if the younger generation saw them. Ask him about the good deed he did. Old Man said angrily. What did you do again? Lung Qingtian looked at Old Zao in puzzlement. What do you mean again? I didn't do anything. Old Zao pouted aggrievedly. Lung Qingtian turned his eyes to Old Man with a questioning gaze. You'll know when you look outside, Old Man reminded. What happened? Lung Qingtian looked out of the bracelet and was shocked. There were at least 1,000 dragons in human form and beast form outside. It's all his fault, Old Man said. What do they want? Lung Qingtian asked unpleasantly, frowning. I don't know either. They said they wanted to see the lass and insisted on following me back. But I had no choice. Old Zao was so aggrieved that he was about to cry. You still have the cheek to say that? If you didn't go to Dragon Island, would they have followed you back? Old Man roared furiously. You went to Dragon Island? Lung Qingtian glared at him. Yes, I went for a tour, Old Zao said quietly. In that case, we'll leave these big fellows to you, Lung Qinggan said disloyally. Boo! Lass, come out of seclusion quickly. Old Zao prayed with tears in his eyes. At this moment, Lung Ruoxue, who was in seclusion in the purple bamboo house, was a critical point in her cultivation. The heaven and earth spiritual energy in her body was approaching a saturated state after she had absorbed it over this period of time. It was just that there were no signs of a breakthrough. But she had already vaguely felt that she was on the threshold of advancement these 2 days, so she had been sprinting with all her might. Beside her, Freak had long completed his cultivation, so he had been guarding by her side and didn't even take half a step away from her. Schwer, you can do it. Freak murmured to himself while staring at Lung Ruoxue without blinking. Lung Ruoxue, who was sprinting at full speed, gathered her immense spiritual power. After compression, her spiritual power condensed into a spiritual power thread thinner than a strand of hair. She controlled this thread and circulated it around the meridians in her body for 36 cycles. Then she directed this thin thread to attack the barrier that had become very fragile. Under the crazy bombardment of the thin thread, the barrier shattered with a bang, and Lung Ruoxue's heaven-defying art finally entered the 4th level. The heaven-defying art broke through the 3rd level and consumed all of Lung Ruoxue's spiritual power. So her body began to absorb heaven and earth's spiritual energy crazily like a bottomless pit again. After replenishing almost 30% of her spiritual power, Lung Ruoxue slowly opened her eyes. Freak's incomparably handsome face instantly appeared in front of her. "Schwer, you've finally broken through," Freak said happily with an incomparably enchanting smile on his lips. "Damn Freak, you scared me." Lung Ruoxue pretended to be angry. "Hee Schwer, I missed you so much." Freak hugged Lung Ruoxue's slender waist tightly and laid his head on her shoulder coquettishly. "Silly Freak, haven't we been together all this time?" Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. Freak had refused to enter seclusion alone, so the two of them stayed in the purple bamboo house. "How can it be the same? Although you were so close, I couldn't hug or kiss you." "Boo-hoo," Freak said pitifully as tears welled up in his bright black eyes. "All right, stop pretending to be pitiful. I'll make it up to you in the future," Lung Ruoxue coaxed. "I have to continue waiting?" Freak pouted with some dissatisfaction. "Oh yes, Freak, how long have we been in seclusion?" "Almost 4 months." Freak calculated the time. "It's been so long? Freak, let's head out first." Lung Ruoxue said. "Okay." Freak knew that he couldn't force Schwer too much, or his compensation would run away. When Lung Ruoxue and Freak walked out of the purple bamboo house, Qingju was already waiting for her outside. "Big sister, congratulations on breaking through again," Qingju said happily. "Hee, I can unlock another seal. More importantly, I will have more land." "Qingju, were you guarding outside because you want me to unlock the seal quickly?" Lung Ruoxue asked in realization. "Yes." Qingju nodded vigorously and looked at Lung Ruoxue expectantly. "Qingju, you haven't told me what ability you obtained after unlocking the seal last time." Lung Ruoxue brought up the old score. "I haven't forgotten this matter at all." "Hee, big sister, the ability I obtained previously was mainly for defense. When you're fighting, I can transform into your armor," Qingju explained. Chapter 314, Departure, 3. "Oh, don't keep me in suspense this time," Lung Ruoxue warned. Her hands danced in the air, making hand seals, and unlocked another seal of the Heaven and Earth bracelet. After another seal of the Heaven and Earth bracelet was unlocked, the spiritual energy in the space became denser, and the area expanded nearly twice in size. Moreover, 3 new pieces of land appeared. "I have new land," Qingju shouted happily. "Big bro Qingju, this is great. We can plant more things now." The little black dog jumped up and down happily. 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down Lung Ruoxue's forehead as she grumbled in her heart. "These 2 farming maniacs are actually more enthusiastic about seeing land than seeing me. Big sister, my new ability this time is the ability to transform into your weapon." Qingju took the initiative to speak before Lung Ruoxue could ask and immediately disappeared after speaking. "Transform into my weapon? This isn't bad," Lung Ruoxue murmured to herself. Schwer, you're finally out." Lung Qingtian and the others, who felt the change in space, all came to the purple bamboo house. "Grandpa, when did you come out of seclusion?" Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. "Old Lin and I have been out for almost a month. Ruhan and the others were a little later," Lung Qingtian explained with a smile. "Grandpa, should we advance now?" Lung Ruoxue asked. "Schwer, wait, we don't need to rush our advancement. The Dragon Emperor wants to see you. He's staying in the general's mansion now." Lung Qingtian said with a troubled expression. "The Dragon Emperor? Long Hao? Why does he want to see me? Lung Ruoxu's beautiful eyes were full of question marks. I don't know. Long Hao refused to tell us. He insists on seeing you, Lung Qingtan said helplessly. These days, these old men had been asking around about the purpose of these dragons' visit. But these dragons' mouths were actually more tightly shut than a clam's shell. They couldn't pry them open at all. Then I'll go see him. Lung Ruoxu sighed. After exiting the Heaven and Earth bracelet, Lung Ruoxu and Freak went directly to the Dragon Emperor. Lung Ruoxu found Long Hao lying in a chair and basking in the sun in the garden and asked directly, Dragon Emperor, why are you looking for me? Miss Leng, our dragon clan wants to recognize you as our master, Long Hao said with a smile. That's it. Lung Ruoxu was stunned. If that was all, why did the dragon clan have to be so mysterious? Yes. Long Hao nodded. Alas. It also feels pretty good to be in human form. After coming to the human world, the divine beasts of the dragon clan had transformed into human form to live these few days. Otherwise, this small general's mansion really wouldn't be able to accommodate them. Then why didn't you say anything when my grandfather asked? Lung Ruoxu really couldn't understand what these dragons were thinking. We were afraid that you would refuse, so we wanted to talk to you face to face, Long Hao said shyly. You're right. I have enough beasts now, so I don't intend to take in any for now, Lung Ruoxu said honestly. As for whether she would take them in the future, she didn't know either. Can't you make an exception once? On the account that we had a deal before? Long Hao said weakly. He also knew that they were in the wrong in the previous deal, but he had to worm his way into getting close to her. Our dragon clan is very strong. We will definitely be your greatest help in the future, Long Hao added. Long Hao, although I don't intend to take in any beasts for the time being, my relatives and subordinates can take you in. So your clan members can acknowledge them as their masters if they're willing, Lung Ruoxu reminded kindly. In fact, she knew very well why the dragon clan wanted to recognize her as their master, so letting them recognize her relatives and subordinates as their masters was also considered doing what they needed. I need to discuss this with the elders, Long Hao said awkwardly. No problem. Discuss slowly. But I want to remind you that we're going to leave the Ling Feng continent soon. With that, Lung Ruoxu pulled Freak away. Swear, will the dragon clan agree? Freak asked curiously. Yes. Otherwise, they wouldn't have come all the way here, Lung Ruoxu said understandingly. There were probably no dragons remaining on Dragon Island now. Where are we going? The two of them had already walked out of the general's mansion while they spoke. I'm going to advance, Lung Ruoxu said with a smile. She walked to a spacious open space and summoned Quill. Quill, I want to go somewhere to advance, Lung Ruoxu said directly to Quill. Yes, master. Quill flapped his wings, jumped into the air, and slowly became a small black dot that disappeared into the sky. Quill brought Lung Ruoxu and Freak to an uninhabited valley. Lung Ruoxu jumped down from Quill's back and released her beasts. Then she sat cross-legged on a boulder and waited for the Heaven and Earth laws to descend. After a while, the Heaven and Earth laws arrived as expected. Lung Ruoxu absorbed the spiritual energy bestowed upon her by the Heaven and Earth laws to her heart's content. After the Heaven and Earth laws slowly dissipated, a thought flashed through Lung Ruoxu's mind. Leave the Ling Feng continent 3 days later. So soon? Lung Ruoxu didn't expect to leave so soon after advancing to spiritual deity. After her advancement, Lung Ruoxu and Freak immediately returned to the general's mansion and told everyone about this. We're leaving in 3 days. If you have anything to settle, do it quickly, Lung Qingtian reminded. After discussing, these old men decided that they would advance in another dimension. I can leave any time. Me too. Fengde, go to the Prosperity Pavilion and tell Big Brother Wang and the others that it will belong to them from now on, Lung Ruoxu suddenly said to Fengde. After the opening of the Prosperity Pavilion, she hadn't really cared much about it. Fortunately, Su Xing wasn't aware of the relationship between her and the Prosperity Pavilion, so it was able to escape disaster. Yes, Mississippi. Do you want me to visit the Hurricane Mercenary Group and ask them to take care of it? Feng De suggested. Chapter 315, Departure, 4. Go ahead. Take this to Big Brother Ju while you're there. Lung Ruoxue took out 2 accumulation elixirs and handed them to Feng De. Okay. Feng De replied and left the general's mansion. After arranging everything and informing the dragons, Lung Ruoxue and the others waited quietly for the moment of departure. 3 days later, Grandpa, Lung Ruoxue called softly while looking at Lung Qingtian standing in the garden. Only her grandfather was still outside. Shuer, let me take one last look. Lung Qingtian said nostalgically. After leaving today, he probably wouldn't have the chance to return. Okay, Lung Ruoxue replied. Shuer, send me into the space. Lung Qingtian said after a long while. Lung Ruoxue nodded and sent Lung Qingtian into the bracelet, leaving her alone in the garden. A moment later, a golden beam of light descended from the sky and enveloped Lung Ruoxue. After a few minutes, the beam of light disappeared, and the garden was empty. When the warm golden light disappeared, Lung Ruoxue slowly opened her beautiful eyes and observed her surroundings. This place is very barren. There was no sign of human habitation, and all she could see were barren land, overgrown weeds, and endless mountain ranges. Lung Ruoxue was dumbfounded. This place is the upper realm? She was very doubtful. Did the golden light bring me to the wrong place? Did it mess with me? Otherwise, why would it leave me here in this place without a single trace of humans? I can't even find anyone to ask for directions. With a thought, Lung Ruoxue moved Freak, her grandfather, and the others out of the bracelet. Shuer, are we here already? Lung Qingtian was a little confused when he emerged, especially when he saw the desolate wilderness. Where is this place? Why is it so? Old man was stunned and speechless. Shuer, don't be scared. I will protect you, Freak said with incomparable affection as he hugged Lung Ruoxue's slender waist, his eyes full of allure. Which eye of yours saw that I was afraid? I'm the one protecting you if there's any protection needed. This place is so remote. If you meet a bad person who takes a liking to your beauty, you will be in danger, Lung Ruoxue teased Freak. Yes, that's right. You have to protect me, Freak said cooperatively. Okay, don't worry. Old man, what do you know about this world? Lung Ruoxue turned to ask Old man. Little girl, to be honest, I don't know much about this world. Moreover, I've already told you everything I know. Oh right, I also know that your Lung family seniors have a very high status in this world, Old man explained simply. Ruoxue, let's leave this place. There probably won't be anyone in these barren mountains, Lin Liang suggested. He didn't expect the beam of light to leave Lung Ruoxue in such a desolate place. They were unfamiliar with the place and people here, so they were unsure of what to do. Grandpa, do you want to advance first? Lung Ruoxue asked after some thought. This was a good place to advance, where they wouldn't be disturbed. Lung Qingtian and the others looked at each other and nodded. Okay. Plus, I don't want to advance with you. I want to break through by myself, old Zhao said stubbornly. Ruoxue, we're not in a hurry either, Feng Jing and the Feng family's first elders said at the same time. Grandpa Old Man, Grandpa Lin, advance first. Lung Ruoxue nodded and released the dragons who were going to contract with the 3 of them. After hearing her proposal, the dragon clan had been hesitant, but they immediately agreed after knowing that Lung Ruoxue and the others were about to leave the Ling Feng continent. But the dragon clan had a condition. They requested to choose their masters themselves, so Lung Ruoxue sent them all into the bracelet to let the dragons cultivate feelings with her grandfather and the others. After a short period of interaction, most dragons had already found their masters, and the first elder of the dragon clan had decided to contract with her grandfather. Long Hao chose her elder brother. Okay. The 3 old men let out their beasts, contracted with the dragons, and began to break through with all their might. About 2 hours later, 3 streams of heaven and earth laws descended one by one. After a while, the heaven and earth laws slowly dissipated, and the 3 of them officially advanced to spiritual deity. The three old men's beasts, especially the dragons, advanced separately after receiving the benefits of their master's advancement. Long Sheng, what level are you now? Lung Ruoxue looked curiously at the first elder of the dragon clan, who had transformed into his original form. Little master, I am a level 6 divine beast now, Long Sheng said respectfully. Level 6 divine beast? Lung Ruoxue was confused. Isn't it transcendent divine beast above divine beast? Why is there still level 6 divine beast? Little master, it's like this. The divine beasts on the Lingfeng continent can actually only be considered level 1 divine beasts. They are limited by the laws of the Lingfeng continent, so they are unable to advance after advancing to divine beast. However, the level of this dimension is higher than that of the Lingfeng continent, so our strength can continue to increase in this dimension. I am now a level 6 divine beast, and the divine beast stage is divided into 9 levels. Above divine beast is transcendent divine beast, which is also divided into 9 levels, Long Sheng explained. This information was obtained from his inherited memory just now. Oh! Lung Ruoxue nodded. She didn't expect the division of divine beasts to be so detailed. Fengzhan Charm, can you advance? Lung Ruoxue sent a voice transmission to her beasts. Master, I can, Fengzhan was first to reply. He had been a divine beast for a long time and had already accumulated enough spiritual power in his body. Advancing a few levels would definitely not be a problem. Master, me too, Charm replied. Master, I can also advance, White Dawn echoed. Master, Lung Ruoxue didn't expect that most of her beasts would be able to advance. This was definitely good news for her. Chapter 316, Entering Boundless Heaven, 1. With a thought, Lung Ruoxue released all the beasts that could advance. After they emerged, they immediately transformed into their true forms and found spots to prepare for advancement. After a while, streams of heaven and earth laws descended non-stop in the barren mountain range, creating a dazzling sight. Only after a few hours did the aftershocks of the advancement gradually disperse. The beasts remained on the spot with their eyes closed to regulate their breathing. The advancement of the beasts naturally brought incomparably tremendous benefits to Lung Ruoxue. Now, the spiritual power in her body was already showing signs of liquefying. Ruoxue, the advancement of your beasts is really too spectacular, Lin Liang said in amazement. Although it wasn't the first time he had seen such a scene, he felt incomparably shocked every time he saw it. Ha! Grandpa Lin, it will also be like this when you contract more beasts, Lung Ruoxue said happily. Forget it. I don't have abnormal mental strength like you, Lin Liang said with slight jealousy. Even though the higher the level, the stronger the strength, and the more beasts people could contract, no one could contract beasts infinitely like Lung Ruoxue because their mental strength was limited. If they exceeded the limit of their mental strength, not only would they be unable to contract with any beasts, they would also suffer a backlash and become fools. Grandpa Lin, then quickly increase your strength. If you are stronger, there will naturally be many beasts you can contract, Lung Ruoxue comforted. Yes, strength is really too important. Lin Liang sighed. Beloved master, guess what level your darling is now? Darling, who had already consolidated his cultivation, jumped into Lung Ruoxue's arms in his transformed form and said coquettishly, Ooh, beloved master, you haven't hugged me for so long. I miss being hugged so much. Lung Ruoxue raised the small and cute purple fox in her arms and said very seriously, Level 2 divine beast? No, beloved master, you look down on darling too much. Boo-hoo, darling complained aggrievedly with tears welling up in his beautiful silver eyes. Don't cry. I'm just joking with you. I know that you're now a level 3 divine beast. Lung Ruoxue coaxed, her forehead full of black lines. She might not be able to see the levels of other divine beasts now, but she was still clear about the strength of her beasts. But what surprised her was that White Dawn had actually advanced to transcendent divine beast. Okay. Darling nodded in satisfaction and rubbed against Lung Ruoxue's beautiful face. Master. Charm also transformed, jumped onto Lung Ruox's shoulder, and lay down after consolidating his cultivation. Charm not bad. Lung Ruoxue praised while caressing Charm's snow-white fur gently. Charm was already a level 5 divine beast. Master, there's still me. A small fiery red bird flew to Lung Ruox's other shoulder. Master, I'm the strongest now apart from that cat, Feng Zhan said proudly. You damn bird. How dare you call me a cat? I'll pluck all your fur out and turn you into a bald bird. White Dawn roared furiously. Master, I was threatened by the feline. Feng Zhan's little wings pointed at the white tiger as he glared at him in complaint. Don't call me a feline. White Dawn hollered. Stop arguing, Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. Alas, those old men bicker all day, and my beasts quarrel often as well. She was really helpless. Master, I request to duel with this damn bird. White Dawn said through gritted teeth. Master doesn't allow her beasts to fight, but I can always take the proper route. I refuse. You're stronger than me. This is very unfair to me, Feng Zhan said indifferently. Stop it both of you, Lung Ruoxue warned. Yes. The two aggressive beasts immediately became well-behaved. Grandpa, let's leave this place. Lung Ruoxue turned to her grandfather. Okay, let's go. Lung Qingtian nodded. The most important thing now was to find a place with people and ask about the situation here. Lung Ruoxue sent most of the beasts into the bracelet, leaving Charm, Feng Zhan, and Quill out. Which way should we go? Lung Ruoxue asked with a headache as she looked at the winding mountain roads. Although their current location was uninhabited, there were too many forked roads in the mountains that they were unable to figure out. Let's go south. Lung Qingtian said as he looked at the terrain. The Quill, bring us south. Lung Ruoxue ordered. Yes, master. Come up. Quill flew into the air and enlarged his body. After Lung Ruoxue and the others sat on Quill's back, Quill flew them toward the south. After flying for a day, they didn't find a single person. Moreover, they still didn't leave the mountain range. Why is this mountain range so big? Old Zao grumbled. However, no one paid any attention to him. Master, there are sounds of fighting not far ahead, Quill suddenly said. Let's go take a look, Lung Ruoxue said without hesitation. It really wasn't easy. They finally found some people. Carrying Lung Ruoxue and the others, Quill flew toward the location of the fight. After arriving at the spot, everyone jumped off Quill's back and watched the battle not far away. On one side of the fight was an ugly spirit beast with a body like a small mountain. On the other side were a middle-aged man and a youth of 15 or 16 years old. Both of them were spiritualists. The middle-aged man was a spiritual supremacy while the youth was a spiritual sovereign. As for the ugly beast, Lung Ruoxue carefully searched for information about it in her mind. It was an earth alligator. Moreover, it was a level 1 divine beast. Earth alligators were beasts that excelled at defense. Their greatest characteristic was their thick skin, which was also a good material to refine armor. The two humans fighting it were gradually showing signs of defeat. After all, they were weaker than this earth alligator. Besides, its defense was extremely abnormal, so it would be only a matter of time before they were defeated. Chapter 317, Entering Boundless Heaven, 2. Leave this place quickly. It's dangerous. The middle-aged man had already discovered Lung Ruoxue and the others and hurriedly shouted anxiously. So many delicacies have come knocking on my door. Don't even think about leaving today. The earth alligator laughed arrogantly, its already ugly head looking even uglier. What is this? It's so ugly. Lung Ruoxue said disdainfully, her beautiful eyes full of provocation. You're the ugly one. The earth alligator roared furiously. Freak, it said I'm ugly. Lung Ruoxue complained coquettishly. It's okay, Schwer. I don't mind, Freak teased with a light smile on his lips. Lung Ruoxue nodded with satisfaction and deliberately said loudly, Okay, what should we do with this big guy? Although this thing is ugly, I heard that its meat is quite delicious. Freak's shiny black eyes sized up the earth alligator. Damn humans, I won't let you go. You're dead. The earth alligator roared. It was so angry. These two damn ugly monsters actually discussed how to deal with it in front of it and said that they wanted to eat its meat. It would let these two humans know who would be eating whom. With a frightened face, Lung Ruoxue snuggled up to Freak. Freak, we're being threatened. I'm so scared. Don't be afraid. I will protect you, Freak said domineeringly. Seeing Lung Ruoxue and the others ignoring him, the middle-aged man shouted again, hurry up and run. Leave this place. None of you can run away. I'll deal with them after I kill you, the earth alligator said confidently to the middle-aged man. It quickly raised its giant tail, bringing forth gusts of wind that hit the middle-aged man like knives. This ugly thing is quite powerful, Lung Ruoxue said coldly. Quill, go teach it a lesson, Lung Ruoxue ordered. If she didn't do anything, the people she finally found with great difficulty would die. Yes, master. Quill jumped into the air and flew above the earth alligator. His huge eagle claws directly pressed on the earth alligator's head. With a crack, his sharp claws instantly sliced through its head. The mountain-like earth alligator didn't have the slightest ability to resist and died. The middle-aged man and the youth looked at the scene in front of them in astonishment, dumbfounded. This black eagle is really too fierce and terrifying. They were speechless for a long time. When they returned to their senses, Quill had already skinned and cleaned up the mountain-like earth alligator. Thank you for saving us. The middle-aged man led the youth to Lung Ruoxue and the others and bowed respectfully in gratitude. It's nothing. Don't take it to heart, Lung Ruoxue said lightly. This earth alligator. Lung Ruoxue looked at the earth alligator again but was interrupted by the middle-aged man before she could say anything. Of course this earth alligator belongs to you, the middle-aged man said tactfully. Although these people were spiritual sovereigns on the surface, they had to be from a big family to have such a powerful eagle. Moreover, these people were his saviors. Even if they were not, he would definitely not be able to afford to provoke them. He knew his limits. He'll take the skin and spirit crystal of the earth alligator. We'll share half the meat, Lung Ruoxue said generously. Although she had saved them, she also needed their help, so she wouldn't be stingy when it was time to be generous. Thank you, Mississippi. The middle-aged man was stunned, but he quickly reacted and didn't decline, his face full of gratitude. Miss, I might be weak, but please feel free to tell me if there's anything you need my help with, the middle-aged man continued. He really didn't expect that not only did he keep his life, but he could also obtain half of the earth alligator's meat. Although half of the earth alligator meat wasn't much compared to the value of the entire earth alligator, it was a considerable windfall for him, enough for his family to eat for half a year. I do have something to ask you, Lung Ruoxue said indifferently. Please ask away, miss, the middle-aged man said very respectfully. I want to know where we are and what's the situation here, Lung Ruoxue asked bluntly. Miss isn't from the boundless heaven continent, right? The middle-aged man said in realization. No. Lung Ruoxue didn't intend to hide it. Miss, our continent is called the Boundless Heaven Continent. We are currently in the northernmost region of the Prayer Mountain Range in the Boundless Heaven Continent. There is little rain all year round here, and the weather is hot. Therefore, this can be considered the poorest and most barren region of the Boundless Heaven Continent. Moreover, the population here is very small. The middle-aged man explained simply. Where is the nearest town? Lung Ruoxue asked. Miss, to be honest, there are mountains everywhere here, and it will take at least 10 days to reach the nearest town. Miss, my family lives in the village at the foot of the mountain. If you don't mind, please come to my house to rest first. I'll tell you in detail, the middle-aged man suggested. Okay, take us to your house. Lung Ruoxue nodded in agreement after some thought. Seeing Lung Ruoxue and the others sitting on the black eagle's back, the middle-aged man hesitated. Miss, come up and lead the way for Quill, Lung Ruoxue said. Yes. The middle-aged man stored half of the earth alligator meat in his ring and then carefully sat on Quill's back with his son. Don't be nervous. Quill won't throw you down. Lung Ruoxue saw the father and son's scared expressions and comforted them. Okay. The middle-aged man nodded. Alas, there was no way he couldn't be nervous. The blow that this black eagle used to kill the earth alligator had pierced too deeply into his heart. He was afraid just thinking about it. Chapter 318. Entering Boundless Heaven. 3. Under the middle-aged man's guidance, Quill quickly arrived at the small village at the foot of the mountain. It was a small village with only a dozen households. Lung Ruoxue and the others' arrival attracted almost everyone in the village. Dozens of eyes were looking at them curiously, but no one dared to approach. Stop surrounding us. They are my esteemed guests. Don't scare them, the middle-aged man said. After hearing what the middle-aged man said, the surrounding villagers immediately left. Hee, please don't mind. We rarely have outsiders here, the middle-aged man said apologetically. It's all right, Lung Ruoxue said nonchalantly with a light smile. Although it didn't feel good to be watched as a rare animal, she could see that the villagers were very simple, so she didn't care much. In addition, she found that those villagers were actually spiritualists. What was going on? Her heart was full of question marks. The middle-aged man led Lung Ruoxue and the others to a small yard and said slightly embarrassedly, "Everyone, this is my home. I hope you don't mind." "It doesn't matter. We often camp in the wilderness," Lung Ruoxue said indifferently while looking at the middle-aged man's home. This house was very simple. There was only a stone table and a few stone benches in the yard, and not a single piece of decent furniture in the house. "Please have a seat here." The middle-aged man pointed at the stone benches. "Okay." Lung Ruoxue and the others followed the host's arrangements and found a place to sit in the yard. The middle-aged man turned to his son. "Minger, quickly go make some food for our esteemed guests. There's no need to trouble yourselves. Tell us in detail about the situation here." Lung Ruoxue said. "Okay." The middle-aged man sat down beside them and then introduced the basic situation of the Boundless Heaven continent to them. After about 2 hours, Lung Ruoxue and the others finally had a basic understanding of this continent. This Boundless Heaven continent was vast, approximately twice the size of the Ling Feng continent. There were no countries on the continent, it was all cities. But the 3 largest cities on the continent had always been controlled by the 3 great families for many years. The 3 great families were mainly the Lung family, the Lan family, and the Sun family. These 3 families were fully deserving of being the hegemons on the Boundless Heaven continent. Their power and status were so great that others could only look up to them. Moreover, the people on this continent were born with the ability to cultivate spiritual power and become spiritualists. However, the spiritualists in this world could only be considered ordinary people. If they wanted to stand out and be respected on the continent, they had to become mystics. Mystics were the most honorable profession on the continent. But the chance of becoming a mystic was only 1 in 10,000. "Miss Lang, I have a map of the Boundless Heaven continent here for you." After the middle-aged man finished explaining, he went to his room to take a slightly yellowed map and handed it to Lung Ruoxue. "Thank you." Lung Ruoxue took the map and stored it directly in her ring. This map was currently what she needed the most. "Big Brother Wu, how can I become a mystic?" Lung Ruoxue asked. "Hee, Miss Lang, if you want to become a mystic, you have to go to the Mystic Association. There will be specialists there to guide you. But converting your spiritual power into mystic power isn't easy," the middle-aged man, Wu Kai, reminded. "Is there a Mystic Association in the nearest town?" Lung Ruoxue continued asking. "Yes, but the Mystic Association there is very small. If you want to convert your spiritual power, I suggest you go to a larger branch. That way, the success rate will be higher," Wu Kai reminded. "It's okay. We're just going to take a look. Big Brother Wu, we won't disturb you anymore. Goodbye." Lung Ruoxue prepared to leave after getting what she wanted to know. "May we see each other again," Wu Kai said politely. "Okay." Lung Ruoxue and the others nodded, sat on Quill's back, and flew toward the nearest town. Quill was very fast. Lung Ruoxue and the others arrived at their destination, Windless City, in just 3 days. Windless City wasn't big, but it was connected to the 3 main cities. It belonged to the Sun family of the 3 great families, and the city lord of Windless City was from one of the affiliated families of the Sun family. Outside the city gate, Lung Ruoxue and the others jumped off Quill's back and were about to enter the city on foot when the soldiers guarding the city gate stopped them. "Please pay the entrance fee. 50 amethyst coins per person," one of the soldiers said coldly. Ah! Lung Ruoxue and the others were stunned. It was really too despicable to charge 50 amethyst coins for the entrance fee of such a small city. One had to know that the common currencies of the boundless heaven continent were amethyst coins and purple gold coins. The exchange rate between amethyst coins and purple gold coins was 100:1. There were 8 of them in total, and if each person had to pay 50 amethyst coins, then they would need 400 amethyst coins, equivalent to 4 purple gold coins. Lung Ruoxue had always thought that she wasn't in need of money, but she would probably become poor soon with this way of spending money. Here. Lung Ruoxue resigned herself to paying. She took out 400 amethyst coins and handed them to the soldiers guarding the gate. Alas! We're new here. Ooh! After entering the city, Lung Ruoxue and the others were surprised to find that the city was quite bustling despite being small. The streets were rather busy and crowded as people came and went. Lass, when we're stronger in the future, we can build a city and be the city lord to play. Well, charge everyone 100 amethyst coins for entering the city, old Zao said emotionally. This money was really too easy to earn. Do you think it's so easy to be a city lord? Old man said disdainfully. Tisich, I didn't say I wanted to be the city lord. I just want to collect money, old Zao said nonchalantly. Then you can just be a city guard. What city lord? Old man argued. You, stop arguing. We're about to reach the Mystic Association. Don't let others laugh at you, Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. Chapter 319, Entering Boundless Heaven, 4, Okay. The 2 old men obediently shut their mouths and stopped talking. According to the location marked on the map, Lung Ruoxue and the others found the Mystic Association smoothly. They opened the door and walked in. Lung Ruoxue walked directly to the front desk and said to the receptionist inside, "I want to convert spiritual power." The receptionist, who was fiddling with her nails, looked up and asked arrogantly, "Are all of you going to convert your spiritual power?" "No. Only the 5 of us want to convert," Lung Ruoxue said lightly. Lung Ruoxue and the others didn't hide their strength because the minimum requirement for spiritual power conversion was to be a spiritual deity. 100 purple gold coins per person, the receptionist said and then lowered her head to repair her nails. What? 100 purple gold coins? Are you robbing us? Old Zao couldn't help exclaiming. What? You don't have money? How dare you come for spiritual power conversion without money? Not just anyone can be a mystic, the receptionist said with a face full of mockery and disdain. This is 500 purple gold coins. Lung Ruoxue took out 500 purple gold coins and threw them in front of the receptionist. Fortunately, she had the foresight to go to the bank to exchange amethyst coins for purple gold coins before coming to the Mystic Association. Otherwise, they would be looked down upon by this snobbish woman. The receptionist was stunned. She didn't expect this unbelievably beautiful girl could really afford 500 purple gold coins. This wasn't a small sum. What? Is there not enough money? Lung Ruoxue said lightly while looking at the stunned receptionist. It's enough, the receptionist said awkwardly after returning to her senses. Lung Ruoxue glanced at the receptionist and asked coldly, "Then can we convert our spiritual power now?" "Okay, fill out this form." The receptionist took out a few forms from a drawer and handed them to Lung Ruoxue. "Grandpa, here you go." Lung Ruoxue distributed the forms to Lung Qingtian and the others. After filling in the forms, Lung Ruoxue and the others returned them to the receptionist. "Come with me," the receptionist said uncomfortably and led Lung Ruoxue and the others to the second floor. After they arrived on the second floor, The receptionist knocked on the door of one of the rooms. President, some people wants to convert spiritual power, the receptionist said respectfully through the door. Invite them in. A man's voice sounded from behind the door. Please head in, the receptionist said to Lung Ruoxue and the others before turning to leave. Lung Ruoxue and the others pushed the door open and walked straight in. In the room, a man was sitting in a chair and looking at them with a smile on his lips. The man was about 20 years old. He was handsome, refined, noble, and very friendly. Welcome, everyone. It's been a long time since so many people came to our branch to convert spiritual power, the man said with a friendly smile. How can ordinary people afford it when it costs so much money? Of course there would be no one. Old Zao seemed to be muttering to himself, but his voice was so loud that everyone could hear him. Our prices are all set by the Mystic Association. If you really have any difficulties, you can pay in installments after the conversion is successful, the young man explained very nicely. There's such a thing? What if the conversion fails? Old Zao asked curiously. If the conversion fails, and you really can't afford to pay, you can settle this sum of money as long as you work for our Mystic Association for 2 years, the young man said. Oh, then why did your receptionist say that we can't convert if we don't have money? She also said that not just anyone can become a mystic, old Zao asked curiously, his face full of the words, humbly asking for advice and shamelessly asking. I think she didn't explain it clearly, the young man said awkwardly. But he had already decided the fate of the receptionist in his mind. I am Lan Ming, the president of Windless City's Mystic Association. I will be the one to guide you in the spiritual power conversion. Lan Ming changed the topic. Your Excellency Lan Ming, please explain the method of converting spiritual power and the things to take note of. Leng Qingtian said. Spiritual power conversion is an important turning point for becoming a mystic. After successful conversion, you will become a respected mystic. The ranks of mystics are divided into 6 levels: mystic, elementary mystic, great mystic, mystic monarch, mystic sovereign, and mystic supremacy. The color of the mystic power of mystics is light yellow, yellow for elementary mystics, light green for great mystics, green for mystic monarchs, light purple for mystic sovereigns, and purple for mystic supremacies. The mystic power attributes are the same as the spiritual power attributes of spiritualists. In addition, the conversion of spiritual power to mystic power will be very painful, so you have to persevere and not give up halfway. Otherwise, the conversion will fail. I have been at the Mystic Association for many years and have seen many people who failed because they couldn't make it through the last hurdle. I really hope that each of you can succeed, so please remember my words, Lan Ming said very sincerely. Thank you. We will remember, Lung Ruoxue said. This is the incantation for spiritual power conversion. Please remember it. Lan Ming handed each of them a card that resembled a magnetic card. Lung Ruoxue and the others took the cards and memorized the incantation on it. After your conversion succeeds, these cards will also become proof of your identity as mystics in the future, so please take good care of them, Lan Ming reminded. Okay. Lung Ruoxue and the others nodded. Now, I'll bring you to the conversion room. Lan Ming stood up. Lung Ruoxue and the others followed Lan Ming to a large sealed room. This room was very spacious, and it was divided into several small rooms. Choose a room each and then enter for your conversion. Lan Ming said. Lung Ruoxue and the others nodded, and then each entered a small room. After entering the small room, Lung Ruoxue was surprised to find that the spiritual energy in the room was very dense. The walls of the room were embedded with crystals for spiritual energy gathering. The room was not big, with only a small table and a sitting mat. Chapter 320. The Four Evils of Windless City. 1. Lung Ruoxue sat cross-legged on the sitting mat, chanted the incantation in her head, and began to convert the spiritual power in her body. How long does it take to convert? Half an hour later, old Zao, who was waiting in the big room, couldn't help asking. It varies from person to person. The longer the conversion time, the higher the aptitude, and the greater the future achievements, Lan Ming explained very patiently. How long is the fastest time? Old Zhao asked. At least an hour, Lan Ming answered. Oh. Old Zhao stopped talking and closed his eyes to pretend to be asleep. But 3 hours later, none of the 5 people who had entered came out. Say, President, it's been 3 hours. Why aren't they out yet? Old Zhao asked worriedly. This proves that their aptitudes are very good, Lan Ming said calmly. Taking longer than 3 hours for the conversion was enough to prove that their aptitudes were in the upper middle range. If they could succeed, such talents would basically be specially nurtured by their family. Another 3 hours later, a stream of heaven and earth laws finally descended. This is the damn old man's room, Old Zhao murmured. Seems like he succeeded, Lan Ming said in surprise. It actually took 6 hours and it was a success. It was really incredible. Basically, those who succeeded in their conversion after more than 5 hours had top-notch aptitudes. It's just blind luck, Old Zhao said disdainfully. 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down Lan Ming's forehead. Was there such blind luck? In that case, probably everyone would want to be blind. After a while, Old Man emerged from the small room, feeling refreshed. Not bad. Congratulations on becoming a mystic, Lan Ming said to Old Man. Thank you, President Lan, Old Man replied politely. You can now drip your blood on your card for it to recognize you as its master. Your identity will then be recorded on it. At the same time, you will also become a member of our Mystic Association, Lan Ming explained. What benefits are there for joining the Mystic Association? Old Man asked very pragmatically after binding the card with his blood. The businesses of our Mystic Association are spread all over the entire boundless heaven continent. As members of the Mystic Association, we enjoy the first right to purchase and the lowest discount. The higher your strength and status, the larger the discount you'll enjoy, Lan Ming said with a light smile. Even though this old man's question was very realistic, he admired his straightforwardness. We still have to spend money? We don't have money. Old Man said with a bitter face. Lan Ming was speechless. He had never heard of any mystic lacking money. With your aptitudes, after becoming mystics, your family will definitely do their best to nurture you, so you don't have to worry about money at all, Lan Ming continued to console. We don't belong to any family. Old Man sighed. That's okay. When you become mystics, many families will want to win you over, Lan Ming said helplessly. But he couldn't help wondering if this old man was doing it on purpose. In fact, he was right. Old Man was doing it on purpose. While Old Man was chatting with Lan Ming, another stream of heaven and earth laws descended. Brat Lin has also become a mystic, Old Man said happily. Before long, another stream of heaven and earth laws descended again, and Lung Qingtian also became a mystic. Lan Ming was a little speechless. Seeing the streams of heaven and earth laws descending one after another, he couldn't help muttering in his head, when did becoming a mystic become so easy? Moreover, what's even more unbelievable is that their aptitudes are getting better and better. Lin Liang and Lung Qingtian walked out of the small room at almost the same time. After they came out, Lan Ming repeated the same words to the two of them. After that, he sat quietly by the side and waited because there were still 2 people who hadn't come out of the small room. Moreover, he was very curious to know if the last 2 people could also become mystics. Time slowly passed. Another 4 hours passed, but there was still no movement from Lung Ruoxue and Yi Qin. Gradually, Lan Ming lost his composure. The spiritual power conversion of the top geniuses on the boundless heaven continent only took 8 hours. But 10 hours had passed, and there was nothing from the 2 people in the small room. A day passed, but Lung Ruoxue and Yi Qin had yet to emerge. Lan Ming was sitting in a chair in the big room and looking at the few old men sleeping soundly not far away. He felt a little speechless. Why aren't they worried at all? Instead, the one guarding here motionlessly. What's going on? Are the 2 of them not out yet? Old Zhao, who just woke up, asked with some confusion in his eyes. Not yet, Lan Ming replied lightly. Oh, he'll continue sleeping then. Old Zhao lay on the ground and even started snoring. 2 days passed. 3 days passed. On the 4th day, the heaven and earth laws that hadn't appeared for a long time finally descended once again. Seems like Brat Yi has converted successfully as well, Old Man said in realization. In fact, he was already prepared for their success. After all of them had taken the little girl's remolding pills. Moreover, they had also eaten so many spirit fruits. If they failed, what would that make them? They could just become pigs. After a short while, Yichen walked out of the small room. Grandpa, isn't Schwer out yet? Yichen looked around but didn't see Schwer at all. He felt a little disappointed. Not yet. Don't worry. Lung Qingtian comforted. Alas, I wouldn't have come out so early if I knew that Schwer hadn't come out yet, Yichen muttered in his head. When Lan Ming saw Yichen walk out of the small room, he didn't say a word because he was utterly shocked. He had always thought that his aptitude was good, but compared to these monsters, he knew that his aptitude was nothing to be proud of. Chapter 321, The Four Evils of Windless City, 2. In the small room. At this moment, Lung Ruoxue had reached the final moment of the spiritual power conversion. Through her divine sense, she could clearly see the silver-white mystic power source in her dantian becoming clearer and more condensed. The mystic power source was a silver-white sphere of light that formed from the conversion of spiritual power. When you converted all your spiritual power to mystic power, your mystic power source would also become more and more condensed. This was also the only place to store mystic power. The greater the mystic power source, the more mystic power stored. The spiritual power in her body was abnormally dense because of the heaven-defying art, so it took her longer to convert all this spiritual power into mystic power. Moreover, converting spiritual power into mystic power would cause some pain, and this pain intensified as time passed. Enduring the intense pain, she finally converted the last bit of spiritual power in her body into mystic power. She released her beasts from the bracelet before the heaven and earth laws descended, and the transformed beasts instantly crowded the entire small room. Then the heaven and earth laws that enabled her to become a mystic descended. After the heaven and earth laws dissipated, Lung Ruoxue quickly sent the beasts back into the bracelet while she continued to stay in the small room to consolidate her cultivation. After becoming a mystic, Lung Ruoxue realized that she needed more heaven and earth spiritual energy. When she was a spiritualist, the ratio of spiritual energy she absorbed to spiritual power was 1:1. But after becoming a mystic, the ratio of absorbed spiritual energy to mystic power was 10:1. In the other words, no matter how much spiritual energy she absorbed when she was a spiritualist, she could transform 100% of it into spiritual power. But after becoming a mystic, she could only transform the same spiritual energy to 10% of mystic power. After consolidating her cultivation, Lung Ruoxue stopped cultivating, stood up, and left the small room. Schwer, you're finally out. Boo-hoo. Freak immediately rushed forward and hugged Lung Ruoxue tightly the moment she walked out. Freak, what's wrong with you? Lung Ruoxue's face was full of question marks. Isn't his reaction a little too big? I missed you so much. Boo-hoo, Freak choked. He hadn't seen Schwer for 5 days. He missed her so much, so much. I missed you too. Be good. Don't cry. Lung Ruoxue coaxed helplessly. Alas, he's becoming more and more clingy. You're finally out. Lan Ming walked to Lung Ruoxue. Was I in there for a long time? Lung Ruoxue's face was full of doubts. It's been 5 days. Lan Ming sighed, with the word monster written on his handsome face. Oh, President Lan, is everything okay now? Lung Ruoxue said lightly. Your card needs a drop of your blood to recognize you as its master, Lan Ming quickly said. Lung Ruoxue's indifferent reaction was really a little unexpected. President Lan, does the association provide mystic skills for mystics? Lung Ruoxue asked. Both spiritualists and mystics had their own specialized skills. After becoming a mystic, spiritual skills were still usable, but they were not as powerful as mystic skills. Moreover, mystic skills were also divided into elementary, intermediate, advanced, earth grade, and heavenly. So she guessed that the Mystic Association would at least provide elementary mystic skills. The association can provide elementary and intermediate mystic skills for free. Advanced mystic skills have to be bought with money. Earth grade and heavenly mystic skills can only be bought at auctions, Lan Ming explained. Oh, then I want one set of elementary, intermediate, and advanced mystic skills of each element, Leng Ruoxue said after some thought. Alright. Apart from the elementary and intermediate mystic skills, they'll sell you the advanced mystic ones at a 40% discount, Lan Ming said after being stunned. Can't it be cheaper? We're short on money, Old Man said pitifully, tears flashing in his slightly turbid eyes. 50% off then, Lan Ming said weakly as 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down his forehead. Thank you, President Lan. A faint smile appeared on Leng Ruoxue's lips. She looked at Old Man with admiration in her beautiful eyes. But you know how to save. Not bad. This is a good sign. Come with me. It'll bring you to get the mystic skills, Lan Ming said. Okay. Leng Ruoxue and the others followed Lan Ming to the library. After entering the library, Lan Ming took out several scrolls made of beast skin and handed them to Leng Ruoxue. All the mystic skills you want are here, Lan Ming said. Thank you, President Lan. Leng Ruoxue opened the beast hide scrolls and casually flipped through them. Miss Leng, you can look for me if you need anything in Windless City, Lan Ming reminded. Grandpa, let's go. Leng Ruoxue turned to Leng Qingtian and the others. Alright, President Lan, goodbye, Leng Qingtian said politely. After leaving the Mystic Association, Leng Ruoxue and the others planned to find an inn to stay at for the time being. But after searching several streets, they didn't find a suitable place. Either they were too expensive, or the environments were too poor. This one. Leng Ruoxue looked at the relatively clean inn in front of her. Everyone nodded and walked in together. Excuse me, do you want to stay at the inn? The waiter welcomed them warmly as soon as they entered the inn. We want a guest room, Leng Ruoxue said. You're only booking one room with so many people? The waiter's eyes widened in disbelief. Did I hear it right? What? Is that not allowed? Leng Ruoxue asked. No, but there are so many of you. Is one room enough? The waiter couldn't help asking. That's our business, Leng Ruoxue said lightly. That's right. It's our business. Why are you asking so much? Hurry up and arrange a room for us, Old Zhao said impatiently. Damn it. The prices here were exorbitant. It wasn't a place for humans to stay at all. Yes. I'll arrange it immediately, the waiter said fearfully and left. 10 minutes later, the waiter appeared in front of them. Everyone, the room has been arranged. Please follow me, the waiter said respectfully. Chapter 322, The Four Evils of Windless City, 3. Leng Ruoxue and the others followed the waiter to the second floor. The waiter pointed to the innermost room on the second floor. Everyone, this room is the best in our inn. Are you satisfied with it? Leng Ruoxue pushed open the door and walked in. She looked around at the layout of the room and said, Not bad. Would you like some food? The waiter asked. No need, Leng Ruoxue said lightly. I'll take my leave then. If you need anything, just instruct me at any time. Then the waiter left. After everyone entered the room, Leng Ruoxue closed the door. Then with a thought, she moved Leng Qingtian and the others into the bracelet. But this place is still the best. Old Zhao exclaimed after returning to the space. Of course, idiot. Old Man curled his lips. Grandpa, what do you want to eat tonight? Leng Ruoxue asked. Sure, let's try the earth alligator meat. Leng Qingtian suggested. It had been a few days, but they had yet to have the chance to taste the meat. Okay, lass, let's eat that ugly thing tonight. Old Zhao agreed, almost drooling. All right. Leng Ruoxue said. She hadn't eaten that thing before. Qingju. Leng Ruoxue called out softly into the void. Big sister. Qingju and the little black dog appeared in front of Leng Ruoxue at the same time. Qingju, Grandpa and the others want to eat earth alligator meat tonight. Cooperate with them, Lung Ruoxue ordered. Okay, big sister, Qingju answered. Grandpa, I'll have to trouble you with dinner. I'm going to learn mystic skills, Lung Ruoxue said slightly coquettishly. Go! Lung Qingtian nodded. Lung Ruoxue and Freak returned to the purple bamboo house. After entering the house, she took out the mystic skills and placed them in front of them. Freak, I'll let you learn the dark attribute ones first. Lung Ruoxue found a beast hide scroll with dark attribute mystic skills and handed it to Freak. Okay. Freak took the beast hide scroll, opened it, read it once, and memorized the techniques for dark attribute mystic skills. He then returned the beast hide scroll to Lung Ruoxue. You finished reading it already? Lung Ruoxue said speechlessly. So speed. It's just elementary mystic skills. It's not difficult, Freak said nonchalantly. That's true. Lung Ruoxue nodded. They were only the lowest level mystics now, so they could only learn elementary mystic skills. Schwer, you can learn later, Freak said with a face full of joy. His pitch-black and bright eyes flashed with more than 100,000 volts of electricity. What do you want to do? Lung Ruoxue pretended to be stupid while her heart was thumping nonstop. Damn Freak, seducing me again. I want to kiss, he said bluntly, not giving her a chance to pretend to be stupid. No, I'm the one going to kiss you, Lung Ruoxue said domineeringly. Then she unceremoniously lowered Freak's head and kissed him fiercely. The two of them kissed for a long time. Lung Ruoxue felt that she was about to suffocate, so she left the enchanting lips of Freak. But he wasn't satisfied. Oh, Schwer, I want more. Boo. I haven't kissed her enough. I'm suffocating, Lung Ruoxue complained, pouting her pink lips. Then I'll give you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Freak smiled cunningly and took the initiative to press his lips against Lung Ruoxue's to give her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Outside the purple bamboo house, everyone was busy preparing dinner. But it was full of spring in the purple bamboo hut. Stop kissing. Lung Ruoxue panted heavily. She would faint if he continued kissing her. Schwer, I'm just giving you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Freak's eyes rippled with lust, letting out sparks. Hearing this, Lung Ruoxue wanted to knock her head against tofu. She regretted it so much. This phrase was just to coax Ball at the time. She didn't expect Freak to use it all the time as an excuse to kiss. Boo. Schwer, I'll let you go today. Hurry up and learn your mystic skills. Freak chuckled. But the words, "I'll make up for it in the future," were clearly written in his pitch-black eyes. Then don't you dare paw me, Lung Ruoxue warned. Hee, you just reminded me. Freak's incomparably handsome face was full of a smug smile. Then he stretched out his long arm and pulled Lung Ruoxue into his arms, hugging her tightly. Damn Freak, how can I learn like this? Lung Ruoxue roared angrily. Boo. Why can't I do anything about him? Schwer, you do yours and I'll do mine. We won't disturb each other. I'll be fine. Freak said proudly. He really admired his idea. Lung Ruoxue looked at Freak's very annoying expression and was speechless for a long time. Alas. She wanted to fight but couldn't bear to. What should I do with him? Schwer, quickly learn. We're going to eat soon, Freak urged while resting his head on Lung Ruoxue's fragrant shoulder. Alas. Lung Ruoxue sighed heavily, then resigned herself to her fate and picked up a beast hide scroll to learn. Freak watched Lung Ruoxue intently from the side. Oh, Schwer looks so cute when she's studying seriously. Time passed. Schwer, dinner is ready. Lung Qingshan's voice sounded from outside the purple bamboo house. Got it, Grandpa. Lung Ruoxue stopped studying. Lung Ruoxue turned to Freak. Freak, let's go. Okay. Freak nodded, and the two of them exited the purple bamboo house. Lung Ruoxue and Freak came to the newly built general's mansion in the space. Everyone was sitting in the garden, eating and chatting happily. This general's mansion was specially built for Lung Ruoxue and the others by their beasts. They had hidden it from them until they completed it to give them a big surprise. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.